Hello. Hi, how we doing? Thank you, Zoom. Appreciate it. Hi, here's Croc. Hi, Croc. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hello, Landon. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hello. Give me still a sec. I'm almost ready, and then we'll start immediately with Croc's video. Obviously, we'll start with Croc's video. That's pretty normal. Then we can do the Mario video since Landon is here, right? Yeah. You never put ketchup on a hot dog. Understandable. Sure, Zoom, sure. Let me see what that is again. Sure. Let me check. Let the sun... We need to have the sun explode. Okay, guys? Let's have the sun explode. What are you starting with? A video about a bad horror game. Then we can do the Mario 64 thing. Though probably I might know a lot of... Shondo Saturday. Yeah, we have the Shondo video as well. Got some drama videos. We're gonna get through as much as possible. Right? I'm gonna try at least. As usual to get through that. You don't put mustard on hot dogs. I'm gonna say this. I think mustard is infinitely better than ketchup. In almost all conceivable ways. Yes, I said what I said. I don't care. But I do believe mustard is superior. In all categories, I don't care. I don't care what people say, but that's what I truly, genuinely believe. That's all. The Cocomelon trailer's out. Outrageous. Outrageous. Criminal. Outright criminal. Right? Straight up evil. Straight up evil. Anyway. So far, what do I have today? Not, honestly... So we have the Wooden House video, we have the Shondo clips, GT send in a video. We have part 3 of the woke VTuber crash out, right? I want to go over that as well. Yeah, we've got some things I want to get over. We've got some things. So no biggie at all. We've got this. It is your opinion, Poker. It is my opinion, yes. It's the right opinion, anyway. It always has been, it always will be. It is, I am speaking the truth. That is all, I am speaking the truth. And that is all there's to say about this. I am speaking the truth. Nothing but the truth. Anyway, it's a mix of, about honey mustard, it's a mix of honey and mustard. I guess, yeah. Not really. I'm not really a fan of that. Like, base mustard is peak. I don't know about the rest. By the way, I haven't pulled a single featured unit in Digimon up. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, I think we're gonna stop yapping so much and get into it, right? Straight into this, I'd say, right? Got some videos I want to get through, right? Germans are always wrong, though. Well, you are always wrong. Not ketchup on a hot dog. Ketchup goes on omurice. Why I feel like this is bait and actually an abomination, an atrocity committed. Right here, right now. Why do I get the feeling that that is actually the case here? Anyway. We've got the first video. We'll get through that. We'll get through everything I can. Right? Germans are sensitive to spicy food. Nah. Maybe. Not depends, to be fair. I had bulldog today, right? There's spicy noodles. Right? And I just like threw in the whole thing, the whole package. Almost felt I would die. Like, I'm definitely, my soul has definitely been burned out of my body. I'm just a soulless husk now. But it was worth it. It was worth it. It was peak. Anyway. We're going in currently at the car show. No bad. Oh, speaking of going somewhere, around the end of August, there will be a day where I won't be streaming because I will be going into a circus. Haha. No, not to play the clown. Don't worry about that. But yeah, we'll go. I'll go into a circus. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Hopefully, it will be fun. But yeah, my sister got VIP tickets. So now we're at the front row. Anyway, we're swapping over to some reactions because we can and we should and we must. Anyway, oh my God, you are a clown. Don't be clown phobic. I'm just telling you, don't be clownphobic. Anyway, we'll start with this one immediately. And Christianity God will be mad at you wasting food. I think wasteful behavior makes sense. My Switch 2 should arrive on Monday. I envy you. I envy you a lot, my friend. Hopefully I can get one in like a year or two. It would be interesting if I received my little brother's Xbox Series S. That would be kind of useful. Arc Ascended. Anyway, we're going in. Wooden House really wants to be Phobia 1.5. To be fair, didn't we play Phobia? Wasn't that the one with the horrible controls? That like I couldn't finish because either the controls were horrible or it crashed constantly and set me back. Anyway, there's a John Wolfie video. We're going in. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that's true. If it really wants to be that, huh? The million.
Phew. I sure am glad to be back from PAX. After spending the last 6 days in Seattle, I'm ready to get back to making videos. I wonder if there are any new horror games on Steam. Ooh, this one's called
Horror games, huh? Wait, he isn't there yet. Maybe I won't block him. Horror games, huh? The question is like, is the horror actually the game? Is the horror playing them?
Called Wooden House, and it's pretty affordable. I wonder who developed it. GD Nomad. Never heard of them before. Let's see what else they've made.
No. 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 No, 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 no. How? Why? No, no, no. No, no. Why? Why? I'm in tears. I'm gonna cry. No, not again. It is back again with another game. I'm gonna crash out. I'll crash out. No way, this motherfucker made another game. Fantastic, bro. Fantastic. Max needs to save up for a good PC. Yeah, that would be the main goal, actually getting a good PC. But, I probably explode before I get that one.
Okay. Hey guys, it's John. I'm really happy to be back. This is a game called Wooden House. It's $3. Let's go ahead and begin. I get out to the fresh air. To hell all the city bustle. It is time to enjoy the peace and silence sitting by the fireplace in the new house. Here we are.
Pogo, do you love this man for making these games? Can we ban him, like, from the planet? Banish this man? GD Nomad, somehow he returned. He returned like 5 times now. How about he stays away? Hi, Judah. How you doing? Hope you're doing well.
So, this looks like Game Guru, welcome to the new house. That's what the chapter's called. How there is cold and gloomily.
Oh god. Oh god, no. Again, at least it looks aesthetically pleasing, I suppose. But like, Lord of mercy.
How there is cold and gloomily. It's music to my ears. It's poetry. This is a Shakespearean game so far. Really excited to see what adjectives we see next to describe our surroundings. These fuel cans maybe come in handy. So should I take...
Stop, Lord have mercy on that poor soul. That was a Star Wars reference. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I have watched Star Wars. Unfortunately, also the sequel trilogy. Never again. Anyway. Yep, we're back. So this we're 5 games in, okay? We're 5 games in. We've learned nothing. We're 5 games in. We have arguably learned nothing. Zero. Nada. Niet. Zero. We have learned nothing. Nothing at all.
Them? So should I don't think I can acquire them yet. I need to find the key to this house. It should be in the basement. How do you know? How do you know that? Hello and welcome. Now the house is in your hand. Thank
Listen, guys. This man, okay? This mortal. I don't know how. Can't write a story. He can't spell properly or use proper grammar. He doesn't know how horror works because there's nothing scary about the games except playing them. What is this man is not? What is he doing? The sound. I'm curious on if he actually improved on sound effects and sound design. Because if not, we have a problem.
Thank you for buying of this wonderful house. Before entering the house, make sure that the heating turned on. The key to the main entrance you can find in the basement in a basket. The fuel cans are behind the house. Have a nice holiday, real estate agency of the property. So the real estate agency doesn't have a name? Like, yeah, I don't know, horror real estate? You know, that sucks, but you could have just given him a name. Johnson Real Estate, Smith Real Estate. How difficult is that? House of Terror.
Oh yeah, House of Terror. Fantastic. Because we're playing through it.
Well, I no longer want to go inside this house. Oh, there's that one guy. Yeah, Kuplanov. This guy puts a little Easter egg in there. All of his games. I need to bring the fuel to turn the generator.
At this point, I'm questioning why there's no, like, John Wolfie. Why there's no John Easter egg. Okay, oh my god, I remember that guy from back in the day. I would look up the most random and obscure games, and he would have played. His thumbnails were everywhere. Interesting. Huh.
Of course. Oh, hey! This barrel just magically spawned. Thanks. I'm carrying it with me now. You know, this is how I think 3 of his games have started. Is you having to go to the basement and turn something on? Is it just me? Hey! That is loud. That is really loud. Where's the key? Said it was in a basement.
Somebody cooked here. At least we have a sound. It's been pretty quiet so far. Also magic barrel, so that's cool. The magic barrel. Anyway, I don't know, man. I think, like, after like 4 games, you have to take the criticism, right? Eventually, right? You'd have to take the criticism. This man just doesn't. This man doesn't know what criticism is.
I guess this isn't the basement? I need to turn the generator on to get inside the door. Is that it? I don't know of any house that has electric doors. Oh my god. How? I am here in the new house. The price was very low, but the house is really wonderful. I switched on the heating, and now I have to turn on the generator for the light. But in the basement is very dark. Chapter 2. The house that is heating bones? What?
Look at that. Might be a My Bones reference. There was always sound. There was never proper. The sound of disappointment coming out of the player. Yep. Indeed. Burger was the post about the burn spaghetti better or worse than how I eat lasagna. Worse. How do you burn? I don't know how these VTubers can stream, right? If they can't even survive the kitchen.
Sure, save the game. Is this gonna be long enough for me to have to load?
Oh, we've got some improvement. Guys, I fear we've got some improvement. The last few games didn't have a way to save. That is an improvement, right? We've got a save now. Not bad.
I should switch on the generator in basement. Another generator? Why I want to play the chess, but with nobody. So you want to play chess by yourself? That's what that means. Man, this reminds me of Phobia 1.
It kind of does. It kind of does. We've got some interesting... Okay. Can't say anything about the sound effects yet. They're not incredibly... That clock was a bit obnoxious, but, well, it is a clock, so I'm not surprised. Anyway, you just need to play the women's simulator game. Even the male ones. Indeed. Checkers. Problem is, I can cook. Like, I can prepare meals, so I don't have that issue.
1.5. I think this is like the same map. Like the same map pack. I must find the candle that highlight the way down. Man, I just...
It kind of looks similar. Though Phobia was a lot brighter. Was a lot darker, right? This is a lot brighter, I'd say, almost.
Like, what's the... I think I said this when I played the Lost Souls. Like, what's the point in critiquing this
I also don't think there was like, you could play chess anywhere.
dude's games? He never listens to any of them. He does the same things.
Though the layout of the map could be the same. The layout could be the same.
He makes the same game over and over every single time. Okay, good. I have a candle now.
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, that is the same map. Yeah, that is the same. Yeah, it's the same. Right. I think it is.
Here we go. Yeah, this is... Oh man, it really pains me to see the Phobia basement like this. I do not want to go there. There is too dark. No, dude, I got this lantern. What? Alright. Oh man. Phobia is such a good game, and it's free, and this game's not. These are confounded generators. How long can I repair them? I hate this basement. I found the battery in one of the small rooms in the basement, and I turned...
Also, isn't it hilarious? Like, these lamps barely do anything when it comes to the light. Like, he turns them on, and, like, barely... The place barely lights up. See, John understands the greatness of Phobia. It just crashed for me, right? And the controls were obnoxious, but that's also because I'm not used to using right, mouse and keyboard. I'm a controller guy.
Turn on the switch with its help. Ash tea. Ashed. Get ashed. What is the attack? There are always something wrong in the basement. In the store, I have not found the keys to this house for 10 years. What? It is very old, and last time I saw a rat the size of a dog. This is just...
That's a fucking ginormous rat, bro. That's not a rat. That's Master Splinter right there. Straight up. Hi, Michael. How you doing? Everything well?
It's so, like... It's such sprawling writing. Like, it has no direction. I do not know what is there, but the sounds are heard. Not a pleasant. Thank you, Ashed.
There's something wrong with it. There's always something wrong with the basement, which, you know what that means? The player character is self-aware. You know what the problem is, though? He finds the notes on the floor, so he writes them on the go. Right? The man always writes them on the go. Anyway.
For the insight. I need the battery to turn the switch. Oh. So in here, I need the battery to turn the switch. Oh, the battery that wasn't here before. And
Magic, we need more people like GD Nomad. How about we have less people like GD Nomad? That would be actually a better option, because that's outrageous. I'm good, how are you? I'm pretty great, I'm great.
Now it is. Perfect. Okay. Where are we putting the battery? What? What? Well, I finished my work. I switched on the heating and now I can relax. Perhaps I read a book in my leisure or drink something. I think so far this is probably his worst game yet.
Kinda. That should make his own horror game in XP Maker. Oh god. I cannot make games, but I'm also not acting like I could. And like this guy seems to think he does. Anyway, it's also interesting. There's just no connection from the battery to the Switch. Questionable. Very questionable, but Pokey has given us such artistic masterpieces. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I would hardly agree with that. This is outrageous. This is outrageous. It's funny how the Platophobia also had that we needed to get some wood because it was cold. Funny.
Like, chapter 3, it is time of peace and silence! Yeah, sure, an exclamation mark is certainly fitting there. Maybe I can find the keys. What are we even doing here? What is this? Look at this! I didn't even notice the skull before. I need a...
Listen, if I see that door, I am not finding a key to that door. I would not try to find the key to that door. Are you mental?
Key. Alright, let's go find it. Man, the old book. I did not see it when I go down here. Well, that's because the developer didn't spawn it yet. Hey, I found the book. What's happening? Spooky. Good. This is scary stuff. I'm too tired, I need a rest. Why, I gotta go to the bed?
This might as well just be a worse version of Phobia, I swear to god. Even the going to bed part is in there, right? Even the going to bed plot is in there. What? Outrageous. Random sounds though.
I swear to god, this game is literally Phobia 1.5, except like 1,000 times worse. Like, nothing that made Phobia good. I don't even know what he said. I should go to the kitchen? Great. Press F. No, you can drink.
No, not again. This costs money as well. True. Not again. Not again. I want to slap I'm sorry, but I want to slap the man that made this game. I swear to god, I do. I want to do that so bad. What do you... Not again. He's gonna be drunk again.
That's one thing this developer puts in all their games. You can get drunk. And then there's this weird effect they like to put in. Where is it? Oh, no, they didn't do...
Ah, not this time! Not this time. Maybe you need to do it a couple more times. I used to play a piano by ear. But now I use my hands. Anyway. Hi, Fable Phantom. How are you doing? Are we doing well? Hello.
Do it this time. There is the bedroom upstairs. I am tired and I want to sleep. Well, too fucking bad. I want to read this note. Nightmares. One dream every night. Next to the bedroom. Did I just hiccup? There is an open door, and when I just go through this door, there is a stiff. When I go through this door, there is a stiff? This dream's so real that it's difficult to distinguish.
Huh? There's a stiff. There's a stiff. He meant cock, obviously.
Are you describing a wet dream? Finally, I found it after all this time. These doors are opened at night. I thought that I dreamed the nightmare again. There is a descent to Deep House behind He Door. There's something like a room for doing the rituals. But when I opened it, dead peoples try to kill me as long as...
So there's a he door. Is that also a she door? When I go through this door, there's a stiff. That's such a good one, though. That's probably his best oopsie yet. That is such a good one, though. When I go through this door, there's a stiff. I should put that on in the title of the thumbnail.
I liquidate the book. What? I need to put it to its place. The most important thing, it is getting to basement descent. All right, the most important thing is getting to basement descent, guys. What? I need a don't I have the key? Oh. Here it is, guys. We found the key. All right. Now the question is, which of the many doors does this unlock? There are many locked doors. There's this one. Oh! Shortcut. There's this one up here. Does it open this one? Oh, here we go. Door locked. Good. Okay. Can open these. Nope. Just the one. Just the one drawer on the entire on the entire thing. So we go to bed now? I was waking up the noise from next door. I need to check. Is there everything okay?
This is just phobia. Wasn't that the same thing, right? We went to bed, right, in phobia, and then something started knocking on the door. Though this time it is not, right, the room door. It's a different door. Isn't that just, it's just the exact same. It's straight up the same, what? You lazy dickhead.
Man. How do you get it so wrong? It's like, it's not really even a Google Translate job because they meant okay here, but they wrote okay. Chapter 4, Blood and Dream. Was that noise from next door? This is phobia. Like, this is phobia. This is literally phobia. And that's a free fucking game and it's 10 times better than this. This person was like a stiff. Whole punk and it smell awfully.
What the fuck? Yeah, by the way, it's used the same sound effect as well. I had to check, is there everything okay? Okay indeed. Coffee bug! Thank you! Thank you so much! Thank you! I appreciate it. Thank you.
What? Whole punk and it smell awfully. Perhaps I can hide in the basement. It's the same chase music even. Like, I've played this dude's games before and I've been like, this is really trying to be phobia, but it's not. But this one is literally trying to be phobia. I do not want to go there, but I have not got a
So the only thing you changed, literally in the basement, is the fact that there's no skull. But the room is still the same, I think.
choice. Sure, why not?
Again, he's allowed to save, so at least that is good, right? That is very good. Hi, Cricket. How you doing? Everything well? See, John is giving you all the subs. This is the second time this happened. Coffee Bug has done this like almost every stream now, which I appreciate a lot.
Not. Okay, what are we doing?
What are these noises? What are these noises? What? Is he getting chased right now?
What? It was a real nightmare. I found the skeleton of previous owner of this house. He could not destroy the book, but I finished his work. I hope that I can get out of this place. The most important thing to find the entrance. What the hell is going on in this game? FPSC game has stopped working. It crashed. Wow, look at these.
It crashed. Wait. That's exactly like Phobia. See, he even took over the crashes. Would you look at that? This guy wants to continue making games. He has to give up on stories and just focus on gameplay. Still won't be good, but no story's better than this. Yep. Indeed. Indeed. Actually, focus on gameplay first. Whatever. That is outrageous.
Save screens. There's this, and then that, and then that. They look great.
What was that random noise? Why did he start moaning? Why did he start moaning? Bro started moaning randomly.
What? Load the game. What? Exit. Nothing happens. Oh my god. It worked. It worked. All right. They still haunt me. I should find the entrance. Let's go ahead and save. Even though I'm not really convinced it's gonna let me load from it. What? Good. Here we go. Maybe I can get through here. Yes, maybe you can.
What is with these sound effects? Why did it make a slimy, weird sound effect? What is this? Why would you do that? Ew!
Freaking kidding me? Hell, he's so intimidating.
It's just the exact copy. It's just a copy. It just straight up is. It's outrageous.
He's coming at me so fast. Finally, I need to run from this place. Are we already almost done with the game? It hasn't even been half an hour, and that's with my load game issues. There we go. Up, a puzzle. Use the HJK keys to connect the wires.
Lazy fuck. Oh. He's okay. He's trying. Unless it like go right, he has to connect them in a way that they work together. Hey. They're doing reactions. Are you? I'll have a request. Very short one. Sure.
JK is right. KH.
Never mind.
I don't know. I've never been so happy to the sun and fresh air. Yes, praise the sun, etc.
To be continued? I'm waiting for it. This is an example of the bad gameplay. The creature just spawns behind him, nothing to indicate that it is there unless you happen to look back. Indeed.
Is there going to be an ending, or? The game hasn't crashed or anything. The game crashed. I got out of this place. I left the book in the basement. Deads were chasing me. Even after I left the book on the altar, unfortunately, the writer of this book could not get out. Ash T. Dead. He tried to give the book back. Apparently the book cursed or something like that. The book cannot be destroyed, but can be locked for a few hundred years. How much evil would not be in the world? There is always a drop of light in the darkness. The book's owner gradually became dead, and he felt how lost himself. The darkness corrupts people. Nobody cannot give you back your soul and mind. You need to remember this. There's a moral to the story, guys. Remember this. Nobody cannot give back your soul.
That's it? That's it again?
In mind. Wooden house! Ooh! Cool. So that's it? So, if that's it,
That's the worst. That's his worst game.
I think this is his worst game yet. I just amazingly he has regressed. I mean, the problem with My Bones was that it was like a key hunt simulator, right? And like Verge Lost Chapter was just a mess. And I'm trying to think, a White Mirror. Lots of problems with that. Basically, this is White Mirror. It's just worse somehow. He makes the same game over and over again. It seems like it gets worse every time. Probably the Lost Souls is the best one of the Infernal Dream collection. Yes, they are selling these games as a bundle.
Lord have mercy.
But yeah, this is pretty awful. About cool. This tells you everything you need to know. Full Cursed Edition is what it says here. Oh my god. Is this like a deluxe edition? I don't even know what to say anymore because any critique that I have for this, I've said in previous videos. So, I think we had some good quotes in this one to rival. It's I love it all smooth from My Bones, which is a legendary quote. I would love to get that on a t-shirt. Yeah, other than that, a thoroughly unpleasant experience. And yeah, this is literally Phobia 1.5, except it contains nothing that made Phobia 1.5 good. Oh man, okay, I'll see you guys later.
Anyway, see, Steam knows quality control. Was this all just a poor imitation of Bug of the Dead from Ash vs. Evil Dead? I don't know. Pocono. Ash is dead. Pokemon is over. This guy is like those authors that writes hundreds of books with little effort and quality. Anyway, guys, all I can say is, right, all I can say, when I go through the door, there's a stiff. It's just outrageous. 4 games back to back, they're all ass. That is outrageous, bro. That is just crazy. Anyway, that is just crazy. Somebody cooked here. I don't know. I don't see a problem. Those were masterpieces, if you ask me. Anyway, one of my animations, it doesn't matter. You can choose from any of me. Nah, I don't do that. That's straight up self-promotion. You will get spanked. Wooden House is a game of all time, indeed. I beg you for the fact electrician video. We can't do that as well. Don't worry, don't worry. I will get through as many videos as I can. Why is there EDP recommended to me? Get this man off my screen. Anyway. Anyway. Alright. I need to add that, by the way, that fat electrician video. I might as well do that real quick. Let me real quick add that, because I don't think I've actually added the latest one. Alright, let me see where that ended up, because I haven't checked which one that was. Oh yeah, that one. Ah, that one. Was it the fact electrician hates communism? And donut operators also on there, very based. Okay, sorry, internet dad. It's Father Poke for you. When is the Mario 64 video? We'll do that right away now. Dude, the black people can't be racist. That's kind of funny. That also looks funny. There's a bunch of things in here. And that's short. That's just 10 minutes. We can get through that. But now we have a very long one because the Mario 64 video is incredibly long. Yes, communism hated by everything. Except communists. They don't hate communism. They love it. They enjoy it. They gobble it all up. They very much enjoy it. Anyway. That one's very long. But we'll do it. We'll do it. Up here it is. Let's see if there's actually disturbing moments in Mario 64. Most of it are just theories, I know. Right? Like there's no such thing as racism. Okay, do you know about the Mario 64 multiverse? That's a new one. They hate life. They indeed do. They indeed do. They're also pretty stupid. Not gonna lie. Anyway, that's a long one. Disturbing moments in Super Mario 64 Iceberg explained. Yeah, this is by Sakro. This is a long one, so get yourself something to munch, something to drink. Do you duck and chill? I don't know. Do not chill while watching me. That is a bad idea. Do not do the Netflix and chill variation. Anyway, we're going in. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, a lot of these things I probably already know due to my love and interest for video game myths and Easter eggs and stuff. So a lot of these I probably already know. Anyway, we're going in.
There's something so sinister about finding something scary in entertainment media.
Oh, Fable! Look at that. Oh yeah, we're gonna play the second game, right? We're gonna play Fable 2 when the new Fable releases. Simply because I hate the new Fable. Simply for that reason, and that reason only. Sit down, tell Dux he's the father, and enjoy the stream. Indeed. I'm dead worried today. I heard from a few more Iranians in Iran. Damn, I hope they're safe so far. In Mario 64, you can go so far out of the map. The numbers loop back and create a new map. Off in the distance, creating another universe. You can use this for skips. Interesting.
Where there shouldn't be. Whether it be a creepy Easter egg, a dreading ambiance, or an unintentional scare, there's something so much darker to these moments of horror. These moments are commonly referred to as nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah, that one, Psychonauts, right? When you hop into a chest, there's essentially like a nightmare version for the lady that like essentially couldn't save a bunch of children. That much I know.
Nightmare fuel can refer to a weird cave you found in a video game that's giving off a sinister vibe, or a strange character dialogue that doesn't quite match the rest of the game. These moments are different from the ones found in horror media. In horror media, you expect to be scared, but not when you're playing a game that is for all ages. The same thing can be said for movies and TV shows that are
He calls that nightmare fuel. He certainly has never encountered a woman.
aimed at all ages. Moments in family-friendly movies can seem dark or disturbing. Moments, characters, and environments from non-horror media can even be more horrific than their horror counterparts. Discovering the disturbing moments in non-horror media has been a bit of a hobby for me for a long time. I was always obsessed with finding creepy or strange Easter eggs in video games, or finding the disturbing aspects of children's media.
Fun is infinite. Signed the devil. Wasn't that what it, right?
In this series, I'll be taking a video game or series and deep diving it to find all of the creepy and strange aspects that they have hidden. I'll be placing them on the iceberg depending on how well each moment is known or discussed. The first topic for this new series is a personal favorite of mine, Super Mario 64. Super Mario 64 is probably one of the most influential games.
We've 100%ed that, by the way. Never again. Never again. I'm never doing this again. I'm never touching this game again. Nightmare fuel when a woman has a dream about you cheating and use it to fuel their anger towards you. Indeed. Watch out, there's a wall behind you. You're right, there's a wall behind me. In fact, there's a wall in front of me. And on the sides, too. I'm encased by walls. There's also 2 doors.
Games of all time. It is a very active and involved community that loves to search the game for any further secrets that haven't been discovered yet. Before we start the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, following me on social media, and joining the Discord. You can also support me even further on Patreon. Patrons can even help decide the next video I'll be working on, as I'll be doing weekly polls over there. Now with that out of the way, welcome to the Super Mario 64 Nightmare Fuel Iceberg Explained.
Honestly, I prefer the Mario 69 version. It's on the rule website. Anyway.
Super Mario 64 was the first time Mario was ever in 3D, and it wasn't just a new frontier for Mario, but for gaming as a whole. The 3D environments probably today look pretty standard or archaic, but for anyone who played it back then, it was phenomenal. So why is it that the first time you enter the castle you hear this?
Isn't that a laugh for somebody at Nintendo that was just slowed down? Wasn't that what it was? Unless I'm wrong, right? I'm pretty sure that is the case. Okay, although they really not, where they were in a third world country that used to drink water from mud or something. There was development to fall into this apocalypse situation. The internet was sold for overpriced, and now their government steal it fast as hell. Many don't have electricity or flowing water, but that one story. The other is an Iranian American working with connections from inside Iran to bring us news. So if a close friend of him got caught, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything to her, but they call her to trial for tomorrow. Yeah, she's gone.
Bowser has such a disturbing laugh here as he taunts Mario. Now, it may not seem so creepy, especially with the way gaming is now, but this was creepy for the first time, honestly. I played this game as my first N64 game and my first 3D game, and this is my introduction to the castle. I guess it sort of sets the tone for the rest of what there is to explore inside these walls. This is probably the most overdone so-called creepy moment on YouTube. Every video that talks about the disturbing stuff in Super Mario 64 mentions the infamous piano. But to its credit, it was a huge moment for a lot of us playing the game. At the time when Mario 64 was released, there wasn't a place for us to compile.
I wasn't scared by this thing. I was just shocked of how much damage it does. That was my problem. Wasn't the scare. I was like, oh my god, this does so much damage. That was my fear, because it did ridiculous amounts of damage if you got too close. I'm so worried for her. It's not just gone. They can be as cruel to her as they please. Doesn't mean any fairness. They can just invent. She caused war against God and do whatever they want to her. Pretty much. We got its Pocus X. The piano?
The game's moments anywhere. This one sticks out for a few reasons, though. The first being that this was likely most people's first true jump scare in a video game. Sure, plenty of other games had jump scares, but never had we been jump scared in a Mario game. Second, as Mario's first 3D outing, and one of the earliest 3D video games, players weren't used to the third dimension yet. This scene also didn't seem to match with the rest of the mostly upbeat and fun game. Or maybe it fits in perfectly as we go down the iceberg. You'll see what I mean. The piano jump scare is something we'll likely be talking about until we're all in retirement homes. Hazy Maze Cave is one of the darker levels in the game. Like, it's literally dark and hard to see. The whole level is themed after a cave, which is obvious from the name. The area has bat and spider enemies, which can be pretty creepy depending on your feelings about those. The level isn't all that nightmare-inducing, but it's worth mentioning for one reason. The poison fog area.
The only really issue that I have is with this area is that it's just you fall down once, you have to go all the way up again. It's pretty annoying.
Yeah. There's an area where Mario is literally choking on poison gas fumes. Mario will clutch at his throat as he sits in the toxic fumes. Seems kind of dark for an all-ages game to me. This is less of a disturbing moment and more of a Super Mario 64 theory. Players who explore the castle, which is all of them, would come upon a fountain in the courtyard. On the fountain is a plaque with very blurry words. Some have speculated that it says L is real 2401. The L is referring to Luigi, who up to this point has been in almost every single Mario game, but was somehow absent from this one. His absence was noticed by the players.
As far as I'm aware, Luigi's actually in the game files. Right? As far as I'm aware, people have found them. He's just not playable. And there's nothing that makes him playable. But as far as I'm aware, my man existed. Supposedly.
Of course, the plaque is almost impossible to read, and it could just as well say anything. I can't read it at all, so I have no idea. So, case closed, right? Well, not exactly. On July 25th, 2020, something was leaked to the internet. A bunch of N64 source code files were leaked, and in them was something related to Super Mario 64. It was Luigi. He was planned for the game all along, and had gotten cut. So in a crazy twist of fate, 24 years and 1 month later after the release of Super Mario 64, Luigi was finally found. So L is real, 2401, after all. This whole turn of events is so cool to me. It really feels like a community can search forever until they find the answers that they seek. Big Boo's Haunt is the horror-themed level of the game. Back in the early days of gaming, games would usually have multiple worlds based on different themes. Games like Super Mario World, Banjo-Kazooie, the Animaniacs, and even Sonic the Hedgehog would have horror-themed worlds.
I wasn't really a fan of this one, honestly, of this level. Not at all. Not really. Then 3D games developed from this. It looks like Tomb Raider from the 90s. Pretty much. Pretty much. That was still back in the day when Nintendo was the big dog. The one that, you know, most stuff that games nowadays use, Nintendo had it first. That is around that time.
These were usually good fun and not too creepy. Well, Super Mario 64 didn't get that memo, and decided that theirs should terrify all that experience it. First off, to get to the world, you have to ground pound a ghost. Once that's done, it'll drop a cage that Mario jumps into. The second the level starts, Mario is immediately taunted by King Boo, who has the standard Boo laugh. Now, if the Boo laugh didn't set the mood for you, you just listen to the music. This is the theme used for the level. It's got this gothic manor vibe going on. It almost sounds like it would be more at home in Resident Evil or Silent Hill, and definitely not a Mario game. The song sounds like a chorus of deep bellows along with a slow drum beat. A xylophone plays ominously from time to time to really bring the piece together. The sound of Boo's laughing can be heard all around as you explore this dark gothic building. The outside
Music can do a lot, right? Music can do a lot. Music can actually make or break a game, in fact, I'd say. Hi, Chris Claudio. How you doing? You doing well? Hello. Hi. Is that Poga's eyes? Too bad, my friend. I do not have blue eyes. Maybe on my model one is, but in general, not really.
seems to be made of rotting wood with some yellowing windows. 2 torches lit at the entrance beckon you in. The level contains 3 distinct enemies. First are the Boos that roam the halls, making normal Boo sounds. Then there's these giant eyeballs that track Mario as he explores the house. Finally, this is where you can find the piano with giant teeth. I already touched on the piano, so I won't bring it up here again. Overall, this is one of the more dark levels in a 3D platformer. The music, the environment, it's all so memorable. Big Boo's Haunt is what nightmare fuel is made of. The Lethal Lava Lands painting kind of looks like a distorted human face. Almost like a demonic face that is staring down Mario as he makes his way around the castle basement. The face doesn't resemble any enemies that appear in the level, and most likely just represents the flames that can jump out of the lava to block Mario's path. The face in the painting has been a source of childhood trauma for a few people I know.
Interesting. I never really cared about that. The only nightmare fuel on this level is the level itself. I hate when you jump into the lava and this man just starts sprinting for his life because his booty is burning. It is so annoying. Fucking hated it.
The picture probably didn't need to be as creepy as it is, but it kind of helps with the level design for the basement area in Peach's castle. The enemy that is meant to be represented in the painting is still unknown. There's theories that it was cut content or only appeared in certain copies of the game.
The faces Bowser. It could also be some of these jumping lava bolts. That could also be the case. Honestly, I forgot the name of these guys, but yeah, that could also be just like a crazy, evil, terrifying version. But that could also be.
Super Mario 64's water levels have caused distress in some players. The eerie fog the first time you enter Jolly Roger Bay, the vastness of the water's depths, and the other things swimming in the water with you have led to some players feeling uneasy as they swam around. The water levels have even caused minor feelings of thalassophobia, or the fear of deep bodies of water. From the surface, you can't see very much. The water looks almost endless. The uneasiness the body of water brought to people wasn't entirely unwarranted. The water could have many secrets and you wouldn't know until you explored its depths. And there was one thing waiting underneath the surface. Once you enter the waters of Jolly Roger Bay, you might feel a little uneasy, but the music is mostly calming. Mario then explores a little deeper and it starts to feel like something is waiting just around the corner for you. Mario keeps swimming along, not much to see, but the blue water around him. That is, until you turn and there it is. A giant eel with rows of sharp teeth swimming in the water with you. This is Unagi the eel, and this was the reason so many players didn't want to enter the water. The eel in Jolly Roger Bay is another really popular topic for childhood nightmare fuel. The way it just appears as you're exploring the deep waters with
I guess. How could you be scared when the music is so calm? Actually, quite simple. You are not expecting it, right? You go down there and you would just not be expecting it. Right? That's one of the major reasons why you would be terrified, right? Again, we get why everyone is so scared of this eel. Me neither, to be fair. You would probably expect that something, the eel would come out or like, right? You would probably expect that. But people probably at that time didn't. But yeah, I don't really get it either. Like, come on, bro. It's just an eel. Chill.
sure to induce the feelings of anxiety I mentioned before. The eel looked terrifying, even in its own low poly graphics. The look of the eel wasn't what disturbed me though. It was the way it moved in the water. I didn't expect it to just start moving while I was swimming down there. A piece of childhood nightmare fuel for sure. A sign in Big Boo's haunt says, "You don't stand a ghost of a chance in this house. If you walk out of here, you deserve a ghoul medal." This item is said to be obtainable in Big Boo's haunt by various means, though this is the only mention of it in the game. The item resembles a medal with either a Boo's face or a skeleton on it. No one knows what its actual use would be. The different uses listed are appearing on the save file as an achievement, making all Boos and other spooky enemies not attack Mario, unlocking Luigi, unlocking the triple jump, unlocking a permanent vanish cap that can be toggled, unlocking a new course, either Big Boo's Forest or Big Boo's Castle, or unlocking the Ghost Ship. The methods of unlocking the Ghoul Medal are just as varied as its supposed uses, though most players have never been able to unlock it themselves, leaving it unlikely that it exists in most copies of the game. The first few levels of Super Mario 64 aren't really anything too crazy.
Well, if it doesn't end up in the save file, then it was likely just a joke, right? Just a joke in the game, to be fair. And then you'd also have to look at, like, localization differences, right? You'd also have to look at that before you can make an actual decision, right? Because just because it's named that in English doesn't mean it's going to be named the same in Japanese.
They provide a small variety of different motifs and designs to make them unique and interesting. So when you enter the Bowser levels, why does all that change? The Bowser levels are pretty creepy by themselves, which makes sense since that's where Bowser resides. The dark abyss of backgrounds, the random shapes floating in the sky, and the strange enemies have often made players feel uneasy. Players find that these levels contradict the feeling of the others so greatly that it warrants adding them to this iceberg.
I don't really see how these are terrifying in any way, shape, or form. Like, of course they're out of place. They're Bowser levels. Like, if you look at, like, 2D Mario games, the Bowser levels are always a bit out of place, right? Because they're Bowser levels, right? They're supposed to be evil looking, right? I think that just makes sense, right? Because he's the evil guy. It's what we like, right? This will be like complaining that Ganondorf's tower, right, is Ganondorf's tower. I don't know. I don't see it.
The pyramid is another mini level in Super Mario 64 that has made players feel uneasy. The pyramid feels claustrophobic and cramped.
I don't see the uneasy. I do see the frustrated, though.
The pyramid is surrounded by quicksand, and there's some slow sinking quicksand on the side. While not as disturbing as Big Boo's haunt, the music can still strike a similar chord. The music feels ominous and foreboding at first, but then becomes slightly panic-inducing, like you're running out of time as you're exploring inside of the pyramid. The chain jump in Ball on Battlefield was a piece of nightmare fuel for many when playing the game for the first time. A giant ball with sharp teeth that does tons of damage to Mario if he runs into him. I can kinda see where everyone is coming with that. The chain jump is a pretty standard enemy starting in Super Mario Bros. 3, but there it was a small enemy that wasn't really too big of a threat. Now, the chain jump in Super Mario 64 is huge, easily 10 times the size of Mario. It can hurt a lot and easily kill players if they are caught off guard. A giant angry ball with sharp teeth sounds terrifying in most cases. The only thing holding this one back is that he's literally chained and can't hurt you. Well,
Unless you unchain him, but then again, he just runs away, right? After which he breaks the gate and then runs away. The main issue is really, again, I think what's more terrifying is just the insane damage he does. 3 hits and it's just over. Pack it up. If you like fuck up hitting that that wooden pole 3 times, it's just over. I like this video poker. Sure.
unless you get a little too close. Skyboxes refer to the images that surround each level of Super Mario 64. Many of these are simple PNG looking backdrops that are supposed to represent a world beyond what the player is currently exploring. A lot of people find these skyboxes to be eerie or unsettling. Most can't explain why, but for some, it's simply that it looks out of place just surrounding these levels. Also, they make each world feel like a floating island. I'll go into individual.
I think what the issue is also, they're low quality, which honestly could have been actually easily solved by the Nintendo 64. Is capable of that, by the way, using pre-rendered backgrounds. I think one thing we've completely fucked up that we can still use, but choose not to, especially for games that are more linear, are pre-rendered backgrounds. They're incredible, right? Button Kaitos, both games use pre-rendered backgrounds, and they do look really pretty. I don't see any issue in actually utilizing these more again, right? But yeah, that could have been actually a better idea.
Skyboxes as we get further down the iceberg. So for now, just know that they are a form of nightmare fuel for many. Bob-omb Village refers to an unused area in the game that was likely part of Bob-omb Battlefield. This area was inhabited by Bob-ombs, but not much more is known than that. Little to nothing is known about this village, except for some of the mission names. There are a total of 6 missions, and they are all accessed through Bob-omb Battlefield. The missions are To the Top of Town, In the Little Forest, Blast to the Skies, Uncover the 8 Red Coins, Shopping in Town Square, and The Statue's Secret. The last mission refers to the giant statue of Lord Bob-omb in the center of town. Mario just made it to the final floor and found the door to fight Bowser one last time. They start to ascend the stairs and hear this rising music in the background. The music sounds like it's always rising, never stopping, and then the player realizes that the stairs also never seem to be ending. This is the endless staircase, and it's there to keep players from fighting Bowser until they have enough stars. Many players have felt varying levels of dread while trying to ascend these stairs. This is caused by anxiety-inducing music and the stairs never seeming to come to an end. The stairs have been well documented as causing
Well, No wonder this would absolutely cause dread to me as well. Imagine you were there like 5-10 minutes straight. You just walk up and it just never ends, and then you look, turn the camera, and it's like, oh yeah, well, in fact, I didn't move a single millimeter. Wonderful, perfect. Is that Poke's ball? Yes, yes, it is. My balls are in Mario 64. You can get them.
Minor panic-filled moments for players who weren't expecting them. Finally, something I know a lot about. Super Mario 64 is a very popular and very nostalgic video game.
Yeah, there's a few creepypastas. Like there was something with Wario. There was also every version of Mario 64 is personalized, and so far and so on. Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
So of course, it has a load of creepypastas based off of it. There's really two that come to mind when I first think of Super Mario 64 creepypastas though. Those being Super Mario 64 and Super Mario 64 Damned, both of which are not very good. I'll give a short summary of them since I've already covered them in more detail in my gaming creepypasta iceberg video. Let's start with the Super Mario 64 one. Super Mario 64 is about a guy who wants to relive some of his childhood memories and buys a copy of Super Mario 64 from a strange website. The seller asks for $10 and the buyer's address, and that's it. The guy receives the game and notices that it's not in pristine condition like.
Oh yeah, I buy one for right, easy $10, right? Nowadays you probably pay like everything. That now you pay like a liver or something, whatever. Can you please react to biggest cornballs on the internet by Javius? We can do that tomorrow, but not today. You got this long one.
Like he was told in the ad. The game had a piece of duct tape stuck to the front with Mario written on it in permanent marker. Then he notices the game is acting strange, characters were missing, enemies were missing, and things were generally not like he remembered at all. Then he ends up finding a picture of him and his family, a very recent one. Every time he loses a life in the game, the painting starts to look a little worse, kind of like a picture of Dorian Gray. The creepypasta ends with the picture of his family turning to skeletons as he unhooks the console, finally shutting it off. Then he loads up a different file and finds a picture of a skeletal family that isn't his own. The other creepypasta, Super Mario Damned, follows a similar formula but shows much more gruesome imagery, such as Mario being hung, Mario
Crazy work. Well, there is the beta game over screen for Luigi's Mansion, which essentially looks like they fucking violated this man in there, physically and emotionally. So anyway, like, this is literally how every creepypasta video game starts. Pretty much, yeah.
having his eyes sewn shut, and the torturing of Mario and Peach. Honestly, I like this one better, but they both kind of lack quality control, which was actually a huge problem in the early days of gaming creepypastas, but also what made them so fun. I've talked about.
Oh boy, would you now look at SCP? Would you now look at that? It's horrible. It's horrible. That also needs quality control. Probably more than just creepypastas need them. Oh boy, oh boy. It's basically run by very interesting individuals nowadays. You know, the kind that we talk about here a lot.
Creepypasta's enough on this non-creepypasta iceberg, so let's move on. There's a theory that the paintings in Super Mario 64 are portals that teleport you to different locations in the world of the Mushroom Kingdom. So instead of just being worlds that exist within the castle, there are different areas that you could find without.
Oh no, not that one. Not that one. I had so much, oh my god. You know, the tiny big thingy, oh god. And fucking I hated it. I fucking hated it.
Ever entering the paintings. This isn't so much a theory anymore, as Super Mario Odyssey kind of already proved it. There's several paintings you can enter in the game, and they take you to different parts of the world. There's a sign in Cool Mountain that says, Cold, Cold Crevice Below. And many people thought it sounded like another level in the game. There's players who believe it was meant to act as a mini world within Cool Mountain, similar to the inside of the volcano or the pyramid level. Most likely it was just a phrase that doesn't really mean much. Still fun to speculate about what could have been, though. Mysterious Mountain Slide is a secret area that can be accessed through Tall Mountain. The slide itself is very different from other slide levels in the game. The background is just a black void with moons and stars with faces on them staring at Mario. The faces are kind of weird, and without the music, it can be a bit ominous. The true scary part is near the end, where if you don't turn the right direction fast enough, a skull and crossbones can be seen on a sign that sends Mario falling to his death. The Omen archives are the
Understandable, but I feel like that's not perhaps you can't really complain about something that it got Telltale Mount. Silence! I don't want to hear anything. I hated this one as well. We need Super Mario 67. We need Super Mario 69. Anyway, hi Lumpy, how you doing? Are you doing well? I went to relive this childhood game, kind of mine. So I bought this cheap copy on eBay. Turns out it was haunted. Classic. The classic. Stop being racist against these levels. I won't stop.
64 assets created by Silicon Graphics Inc. that were leaked online. The leaked coding was used to create early N64 emulators and altered a bit so they wouldn't face legal ramifications. The Omen archives were leaked by an ex-employee at Silicon Graphics, but not much more is known about this individual. It is believed they were sued by Nintendo, but nothing has gone public. There's a belief that these files were altered in some way as they didn't have the personalization AI in them. What is the personalization AI? Well... Starting in 2020, there was a theory going around the internet, one that would change.
Yep, there it is. There it is. Every copy of Super Mario 64 is personalized. That's a good old one. These creepypastas are so high school coded. A lot of these probably were made by people during high school, let's be real.
The way we looked at Super Mario 64 and gaming creepypastas forever. Something called the every copy of Super Mario 64 is personalized theory. People believe that the reason everyone has different but similar experiences is because every copy of the game is personalized to the player. The way it does this is through the personalization AI that is in the game's files. The AI will study the player, find out what they're like, and personalize the game to them. This theory has led to many people coming forward with their own interpretations of the game. This includes new enemies, levels, entities, and characters. This theory is probably the coolest thing to come out of both the Super Mario 64 community and the gaming creepypasta community in a long time. It both creates endless possibilities but also adds another layer of mystery and nightmare fuel to the game. So remember, if your experience with the game is different than mine, well, you know why. The Wario apparition is one of the many entities to be experienced in personalized copies of Super Mario 64. The Wario...
There's the Wario thing. Yep. I don't believe in personalization. It isn't even possible. It wasn't even possible back then, so there's that.
Entity is often considered the most dangerous of the personalizations, with players reporting stroke-like symptoms and memory loss. The Wario apparition isn't guaranteed in most playthroughs of the game. It, like many other occurrences, only happen in certain copies of the game. The causes of his appearances are unknown at this time. The Wario apparition is said to appear in the hallway leading to Dire Dire Docks. He will appear and chase the player. This behavior is also dependent on the personalization AI. This is the most popular of the personalizations. The final boss fight with Bowser is considered nightmare fuel by many due to how much darker it is overall. Firstly, Bowser is much bigger and much more intimidating in this fight. The level has this green hue to it and has very eerie music playing in the background. The music is being played on what sounds like an organ, just adding a layer of creepiness to it. The map that you fight Bowser on even starts to collapse during your fight, making it feel much more cramped and just a little bit harder. It may not be the creepiest level in the game, but it's still worth noting.
Really? People thought this was, like, scary? To be fair, the only thing I had an issue with, like, I like the music. I didn't like the fight too much, mainly because you had to chug him into the spikes, which was at times really annoying, right? Because that man, I couldn't chug him into this, which you know, that was indeed a bit frustrating. I'd have to admit that was not fun. But anyway, a personalized game sounds cool. Yeah, nobody would probably make that. It would cost too much money.
The mirror room has been a long-time source of anxiety for players. Some find it uncanny to see Mario's reflection in the mirror. The mirror room always felt like it had this air of mystery to it, but no one could figure out exactly what caused it. The door behind the mirror is possibly the biggest mystery. Players have theorized that it leads to Luigi or another entrance to the castle, or it leads to an inverted version of the castle. These theories help to give it a little bit of credence to those who find the mirror room ominous. Space World 95 is an early build of Super Mario 64 shown at Space World 95. These are less creepy and more interesting as it shows the ideas they had before the final release of the game. Some do find the footage of the game to be a little disturbing, mainly in the fact that it feels so familiar but so different, kind of leading into the personalization theory. It also shows the world what could have been. There's a theory that Princess Peach's secret slide is really a dimensional rift. This theory stems from the fact that it is unlike any other level in the game. The skybox around the level is completely black, there's no red coin star, and it's the only stage that feels like it's completely detached from the castle. The level feels like it's its own dimension that exists only within the castle. The Mystery Goomba refers to a Goomba that spawns inside of a platform in the first Bowser boss level. The Goomba can't be seen except for at its very specific angles, making it almost impossible to notice. The reason for this Goomba's existence and placement is a mystery. It also makes it a coin you can never get, the unattainable coin and the unkillable Goomba.
I think they just forgot the bro. I think they just placed him and forgot him. That's really all. They just forgot homie. And now he's there, forever alone. Nowhere to be seen again.
Super Mario 64, being the first 3D Mario game, really had its work cut out for it when deciding how the game would play. One thing they seem to have overlooked is how Mario would lose a life, because for some reason they made Mario's death animations terrifying. Let's start with this scenario. You're swimming in Jolly Roger Bay. You swam a little too deep and now your health is running low. Out of nowhere you get hit by the giant eel, and you're only at 1 health now. You run out of breath and Mario makes gasping noises and clutches at his throat as his body goes limp in the water. A very real fear for a lot of people is drowning, and now you just watched your favorite childhood character live out that exact fear.
Fair. I guess I can see that. They do look kind of terrifying. I guess yeah, the death animations I can get. Goomba. Outrageous. Damn. I get it though. I get it. Okay, that one I can't get more, right? That one I can understand.
I don't know why they showed Mario drowning in such a realistic way. Maybe that was the only way they could make it work. That's not the only disturbing death animation though, because in a very similar vein, Mario can die in the poison fog of Hazy Maze Cave. Mario can be seen covering his mouth whenever he's in the poison fog area, and when he dies, he clutches at his throat and falls over twitching. Mario can also just fall over dead if he loses lives, and that can be pretty realistic. The most disturbing one to me though, has to be the sinking sands one. The thought of being sucked down into the ground and suffocating to death underneath the sand is almost like a nightmare come to life for me. Don't become his lunch refers to a sign that can be found in Hazy Maze Cave. It refers to Dory, the very docile and helpful dinosaur that swims in the waters of the cave. Dory isn't a threat in any way, but this sign makes him seem dangerous. To be fair, Dory can be kind of scary to some. He looks very similar to depictions of the Loch Ness Monster.
If this little guy is scary, are you even fit for the world? Like, if this little guy is in any way, shape, or form scary, then I question things. Because, like, come on. Like, come on. No way. If anything, you're actually the rude one because you're beating it, right? You're jumping on top of it and hurting it. If anything, right? So there's that.
Which is just a plesiosaur. The fear of going in the water with such a creature could induce fear in some. There's also a theory that Dory was hostile in an earlier build of the game, but no one knows how or why they changed him. It could have been that an aggressive dinosaur was too much for younger players, but also they left the giant, terrifying eel in the game, so no one knows really. I mentioned that the pyramid level can be kind of creepy, but something I didn't mention were the ET hieroglyphics on the walls. These normally wouldn't be seen as much more than a reference, that is, if it wasn't for the real-life theory that the aliens built the pyramids. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the pyramids were built by aliens. Super Mario 64 is both referencing that and admitting that aliens have visited Earth before Super Mario Galaxy. It's interesting to think about.
Nah, the Egyptian, the pyramids were built by black people. We was Egyptians and shit.
The yellow cap switch is an unused asset in Mario 64. The only ones that appear in the game are the red, green, and blue switches, which all correspond to a different power for Mario. It's unknown what power Mario would get for the yellow switch, but some believe that it would just reward Mario with another star. It's also believed the levels involving the yellow switch were removed before release because they couldn't finish it in time. Many players have reported feeling uneasy when staring at the end cake screen of the game.
To be fair, to be fair, that phase, the peach phase, the peach phase, fair. Honestly, fair. No, was the pyramids were made by aliens? Could be. Who knows? Fair. The peach phase is a bit weird.
When you complete Super Mario 64, Peach bakes Mario a cake, and that cake can be seen as the final screen of the game. People also claim to see something strange in the background of the picture. Most people don't see anything, and this could be another reference to every copy of Super Mario 64 being personalized. The Secret Aquarium level is a level that can be accessed in the same area as Jolly Roger Bay. The aquarium is noted because of the claustrophobic feeling that it gives off. Mario is essentially trapped inside of this water prison until he completes the star mission. Mario can't go up for air, he can't escape in any way. He must finish the mission and get the star to escape. This has left many, including myself, to feel panicked and boxed in. Couple that with people's fear of drowning, and this level can be just a bit.
I feel most questionable why the skybox is literally the sky. Like it's like stuck in like the middle of lower, like the sky. That's most of the question, right? Why pick that as a skybox?
Of nightmare fuel. I've covered the skyboxes before, but now I'm going to talk about the strangest and possibly most disturbing one. That being the wet dry world skybox. This skybox is different from any other skybox in the game. Whereas most skyboxes are just empty.
Didn't you use like a literal actual city as like the skybox, if I remember correctly?
Sky or pitch black night, this one depicts a city underwater. The real-life town of Shibam, Yemen was used as a skybox. This makes the level feel like it's not in the video game. It makes it feel like it's a real place that we can have in our world. This gives off an eerie feeling for most who look at it, but not only is it eerie because it's a real town, but it's also a real depiction of a flooded town. The town is completely underwater, like it's Atlantis, or some forgotten city that has fallen beneath the sea. Once you beat King Bob-omb in Bob-omb Battlefield, he disappears from the game. It is believed by some that he has turned into one of the giant metal balls that can hurt Mario on the way up to the top of the hill. During the King Bob-omb mission, there were only 2 giant metal balls for Mario to avoid, but any mission following that has 3. This theory lacks evidence beyond that, but it's interesting how the connection can be made. The earliest build of Super Mario 64 was seen on July 7th, 1995. It continues to be the first ever piece of Nintendo's.
Interesting. Well, yeah. Like the texts look different. The lives looked a little different. Star and coins. That's what I can tell. Obviously, it looks a lot more grainy and stuff, so that's kind of logical, right? That kind of makes sense. Poke, I'm pretty sure I told you about this when you were playing. Yep. I remember. See, Crocker is a good boy. I suppose so, for once.
64 history. The build is seen as mysterious by those in the community, and really that's the best way to put it. Not much is known about the build, but for some reason community members discourage others from doing too much research on it. like it's holding some secrets that we're just not ready for. The Blarg is an enemy from Super Mario World that was missing from Mario 64. The Blarg was an enemy that would jump out of the lava to attack Mario. They appeared in the lava.
See, that's what I'm saying, right? It was probably that the picture is probably exactly that. It could be, am I a good boy? Sure. Most of you are good boys and good girls. Indeed. Not what you think, you degenerates.
Worlds of the game, but for some reason didn't make an appearance in Super Mario 64. There is a beta version of the Blarg that can be found in the game's files. The creature isn't fully textured and is kind of creepy looking. With a few modifications, you can get the Blarg back in the game. The Blarg would have appeared in Lethal Lava Land, Bowser in the Fire Sea, and for some reason, Mario over the Rainbow. The Blarg will act pretty much the same as it did in Super Mario World. It'll approach Mario and burn him if he gets too close. On the upper floors of Peach's castle, there's a sign that says, "Shh, please walk quietly in the hallways." This sign has confused many in the community as it doesn't seem to serve a purpose in the game at all. A fan theory suggests that it might be referring to Bowser, constantly watching Mario as he explores the castle. Another says that it was likely something left over from the beta of the game, and was meant to serve a more significant purpose. Either way, it's been a source of discussion with the community for years. At the end of the game, once the players collected all of the stars, they can see the final ending with Yoshi on the roof of the castle. After talking to Yoshi, he jumps off and is never seen again. This scene has sparked a theory that Yoshi took his own life for unknown reasons. There's not much more to say about this one, and it's a bit of a stretch even compared to some of the more out there theories surrounding the game. Big Boo for some reason has multiple laughs. The usual high-pitched Boo laugh, and then there's this occasional lower-pitched version. This one. It just sounds way more scary and menacing.
The question is like, does it come from the small ones or the big ones? Because usually bigger things sound deeper, right? That's a classic trope, right? So like, whatever. Yeah, more like what? Yeah, whatever. Bowser gooning happens to the best one. People are gooning to Bowser already. That has happened already, right? Bowser exists.
Than they probably thought it would be. No one's quite sure what triggers this laugh, but it has been caught on several streams and several YouTube videos. King Womp complains to Mario about the Womps being used to build everything in the Mushroom Kingdom without being thanked. Mario then proceeds to fight him, and after beating him, gets a star as usual. When Mario returns to the same level, King Womp is missing, and now a new tower stands in his place.
So the theory is that he was used to build this tower.
This has led many to believe that this structure was built out of King Womp himself. To really put the nail in the coffin for this theory, it's also theorized that the one-up mushroom found in the tower is King Womp's soul. There was a commercial in the 90s that had Mario break out of the TV and drink milk straight from the jug. This made him grow to an enormous size so he could complete the level quickly. This commercial was just a little weird, but some found it to be a form of nightmare fuel. I can't tell if it's from the fear of Mario leaving the game and stealing your food, or what exactly. All I know is I remember seeing this commercial all the time as a kid. We're talking about Big Boo's haunt again. When you enter the level, for some reason, there's what looks to be a giant dark forest as the skybox. This is the only time this skybox appears in the game, and it adds perfectly to the creepy atmosphere. The only problem is, when you enter Big Boo's haunt, you're shrinking down to go into the level. This has led to a few theories. The first one being that it's not a forest that you're seeing, and in fact is just the grass from the courtyard surrounding the level. This one can be believable, but it
Looked a little bit like a face. Anyway, got milk. Got milk.
doesn't really look like the grass, and most of the sun is also absent in this skybox. When Mario enters Big Boo's haunt, it's a sunny day, but now it's dark and there's an ominous forest surrounding the world. Another theory is that Mario is teleported to a pocket dimension. This pocket dimension is perpetually night and is surrounded on all sides by the encroaching forest. Super Mario 64 had to do a lot to bring Mario into the third dimension. One thing that it didn't account for, though, was how empty it all feels. The game starts with Mario in the courtyard of the castle, surrounded on all sides by hills that he can't climb over. The player can hear the sounds of birds and other wildlife, but none of that can be seen. It's pretty empty, and that's how most of the game feels. The castle is mostly empty halls with little to no furniture. The only inhabitants are the toads, and they are pretty scarce as well. It's weird to have a big castle and map, but have it all be so empty. It's not just the castle that is empty, though. The worlds that Mario can enter through, the paintings, also feel completely desolate. The levels have fewer enemies than other Mario games, and are mostly just empty space for Mario to jump around. Now, give this a try. Boot up Mario 64 and play it with no sound. Make your way around the world, and you'll probably start to feel that emptiness.
Look, there's my homie, Koopa the Quick. I fucking hate Koopa the Quick. Fucking hated him in that one map. He was too fast.
When you see the toads in the castle, they appear to be translucent. You can see right through them. These toads are being projected here, but why and what are they really? There's a few theories about this. The first being that these toads are ghost projections. The real toads were killed by Bowser, and their ghosts came back to help Mario find and save Princess Peach. This theory makes sense if you think about how the only other entities that you could encounter in the castle are the boos in the courtyard. The max star number in Super Mario 64 is 120. This is interesting because 120 is a spiritually significant number. In many religions, the number 120 has a special meaning. Its main interpretation is that of growth and moving forward. This would be interesting since Super Mario 64 was the first 3D Mario game and really paved the way for 3D platformers to follow. The whole significance of the number and how deep this one part can go is a little more than I want to cover in this video. This is kind of a long theory about the journey of
Fair, fair. Though it would be interesting in which religion it is actually that important.
Mario and Super Mario 64 mirroring a Freemason journey. This theory goes pretty deep, discussing how Bowser essentially becomes a god as he creates worlds using the power of the stars. The power stars themselves also represent symbols that hold significance in the Freemasons' journey. I could go in depth about all the references to the Freemasons here, but it would be worth a video all by itself. This is just another form of nightmare fuel that Super Mario 64 has created.
Yeah, I would disagree with that. We're not yet in the phase of normal R kills God, right? We aren't in that phase yet. That happened later. The phase of we must kill God or a god, whatever. Right? That comes later.
The wet, dry world negative emotional aura is the topic that really made me want to talk about Super Mario 64. There's a phenomenon that many players have described, a feeling that has to do with wet, dry world. Wet, dry world is one of the most disturbing levels in the game, but not at surface value. Starting with the skybox that I mentioned before, being of a city in the real world, and looking super out of place. There's also a small abandoned town area that you can find if you search for it. The best word to describe it would probably be liminal. Liminal spaces are places where you can usually find people or life, but now lays abandoned. I think that describes this area pretty well. The atmosphere of the whole level leaves a lot of people feeling uneasy. This is caused by the supposed negative emotional aura the level puts off. This feeling can be described as feeling emotionally drained, anxious, or depressed. Without
The only negative aura I got was from raising the water level up and down. That's the only negative aura I got from this one.
any real reason why. This emotional aura isn't felt by all players and is likely only in specific copies of Super Mario 64. It's in enough of them though that the player base has had these shared experiences, making it one of the more well-documented phenomenons. A Toad states that, "The princess and I and, well, everybody, were all trapped inside the castle walls. Bowser has stolen the castle's stars, and he's using their power to create his own world in the paintings and walls." This statement has led to some confusion and theories. The confusion comes from whether he means they are literally trapped inside the walls of the castle, or if he just meant trapped in the castle building. Either interpretation doesn't make sense as the front door is unlocked and Toad can leave whenever he wants. The most popular theory is that the Toads and Princess Peach are trapped inside the actual walls of the castle. Bowser, when he stole the Power Stars, also trapped the Toads inside the walls. Mario then releases them by collecting those stars and opening the doors. This theory has been widely debated by the community. The textureless Mario anomaly is one that not many players have had the chance to interact with. It's a very specific anomaly that was discovered by fellow YouTuber SwankyBox. He had been running one of his challenge videos when it happened. The textureless Mario appeared on Tiny Huge Island, and so did random glitching effects. The water had no texture, but Mario could still swim in it. It was when Swanky turned to see Mario fully that his face appeared to melt off until it was blank. The textureless Mario anomaly isn't harmful to players and acts pretty benevolent in most cases. Since there's many different versions of this anomaly, one of them might not be so benevolent.
I'd probably be traumatized too, to be fair. That would be traumatizing for sure, right? That would be terrifying, right? One moment you'll play the game normal, next moment, Mario has no face, right? I'd be terrified too, for sure.
There's a theory that Wriggler bodies were used to cover the Bowser battlefield. The yellow objects look kind of similar to the body of Wrigglers, the same shape and the same size at least. This one hasn't been fully explored, but it's unlikely to be true. This theory kind of goes along with the Toads being trapped in the walls theory. There's another theory that states that Princess Peach is stuck in some
Trapped in the walls. Is deer in your walls? Nope, not that I'm aware. From what I know, the rare one is not in my walls. He probably has perished, sadly.
Dimension behind the stained glass window. The most interesting part to me is that I heard this story from my cousins growing up, and a few friends on the playground. This theory has been around for a while, or at least a version of it has. A Super Mario 64 sequel was planned for the N64 that would use the same AI that every copy of Super Mario 64 used, but they canceled it because it caused temporal leakage in some game testers. This isn't a widely believed theory though. Most players already know that the game was planned for the N64 disk drive, which was cancelled due to low sales. There's a theory that a brain diagram was hidden in the game files of Super Mario 64. This brain diagram was likely used to create different versions of Super Mario 64 to each individual player. It is unknown what other uses the game would have for such a thing. The white-eyed chomp is an anomaly that changes the textures of the chain chomp's eyes to be completely white. This doesn't usually make the chain chomp act any differently, but it is a sign that your copy is going to have varied levels.
That is quite terrifying, I suppose. That is very terrifying, I guess.
Levels of personalization. If the player sees the white-eyed chomp in any other levels, then it is to be expected that its behavior will be less predictable and they should proceed with caution. The white-eyed chomp has been most notably found in Big Boo's haunt. The Eternal Fort was believed to be the final level of Super Mario 64. The validity of this level has been speculated by many different members of the community. If the level is in the game, then players haven't figured out how to access it yet. The Eternal Fort would use every skill the players had learned while playing Super Mario 64. It was meant to be the final and hardest level in the game. It is said that in order to access the level, the player must know everything about Super Mario 64. Then the personalization AI will open it up to them. The level hasn't been found yet by any player.
Because it doesn't exist.
Shared nightmares refers to the phenomena where players have all had similar nightmares to one another. The main constant in all their nightmares is Super Mario 64. These nightmares appear to be some form of subconscious dread that players have felt while playing the game. Despite the colorful and fun world of Super Mario 64, it has appeared to have a deep effect on its players. Something has disturbed players on a subconscious level, leaving many with nightmares to this day. Players have urged others to try and wake up if they notice the nightmares related to the game. They say the nightmares can hold you captive if you let them. The shared nightmare experience was first documented on 4chan and has been spread around the rest of the internet from there. Thanks everyone for watching my video, and special thanks to my Patreon supporter, Blowin' O.
Oh, wow, it's already over. That was interesting. Oh well. What can I say? Actually, not all that much. See, most of these I already knew, because, well, I love watching any videos about, you know, game theories, essentially, video game theories, so there's that. There's a bunch of interesting things, for example, there's a torture room in WoW, but it's hidden. Anyway, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Most of these are obviously just theories, right? You won't get much out of this, obviously, right? That just kind of makes sense, right? Would be surprising, right? But yeah, it took quite a while to, for example, to find Luigi in the game files, right? People look through that. It's just a theory, a game theory. Oh, I miss MatPat. I miss MatPat. But we'll never get this man back. Probably we'll never get this man back. Very unfortunate. Anyway, that was fun. That was a fun video for sure. Anyway, not bad. Guys, I'm gonna take a quick break. Then we're gonna do the Shundo video, right? Then we can do the Fat Electrician. And then I'll watch some of the stuff that I want to watch, some of the things. Right, we have some drama that I have to get through. Definitely. But yeah, let me quickly take a quick bathroom break. I will be right back. How was the video? It was fun. It was fun. I liked it. It was fun. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm back. Hi, Short King. Hi, Jing. Hope you're doing well. Did I miss my video? Nope, not yet, but I also haven't gotten to anything yet. So don't worry, I haven't gotten too much yet anyway. I'm only 2 videos in. Right, because we did a really long one. Took an hour to record. Anyway. So now, we're gonna look at the Shondo clips. Why not? This is gonna be probably outrageous. Then we can do the fat electrician one, right? And then I'm gonna do the VTuber crash out, the part 3. The 3rd part, and then we'll see. And I can do yours, it's fine. But yeah, let's get through all the other... Let's get some fun things real quick, so it's fine. When is Tri-State Tornado video coming out? Don't know yet. It's uploaded. I just don't know yet. But it's uploaded. No, is it? Let me see. Let me actually check. Wait, no, it's not even edited yet. It's not even edited yet. I need to edit that one still. Ha! Funny. Anyway. I need to edit that one still. Haven't even come to that. I haven't even gotten to that. I can do that today. Right after stream, I can start editing all of these, so that's fine. Anyway. Clips that made Shondo famous. Yeah, we're gonna look at those clips as well, right? Last time we did Pipkin Pippa, and now we're doing this lady. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's see. Apparently, she's a little more unhinged. This is by Able Clips and Shadow VT Clips, so there's that. Yeah, we're gonna look at this. Also, I hope I don't block too much with my big head. Anyway, we're going in. We're going in. Prepare your ears, by the way.
Speakers bros, are you good? Any speakers bros in chat? Yeah?
I did not see that coming. Woman. Oh, God. This will be something. God. I'll see you later, Poker. Take care, Landon. Oh, my God. Okay. Sure. That's how we start, huh? That's how we begin.
Are you ready? Come here. Uppies.
That's adorable, though. I can't say anything. That's adorable. She wants uppies. Stop. I saw that and Stop! Control yourself! Don't control yourself! There will be no coming in my chat! Control yourself!
Lift me up. Do it. Pick me up, please. Up, please. Up. Give me up! Now! Fine. I'll just ignore you. Oh, God.
Fuck you. I'll see you at work.
Do not do it. Do not do it. Only Japanese VTubers get away with it.
Nigga don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe if you got rid of that old yee ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass if she ever stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with, nigga.
Nice person.
What?
The intrusive thoughts have never been so powerful.
Getting on top of each other.
I'll be just
It's like an issue, right? Intrusive thoughts are dangerous. Do it. Intrusive thoughts are dangerous. Because I have it in that as well. I want to do it as well. But obviously, I'm a white boy.
and I have to go do something.
Oh, thank God it's over. Fuck, man. God, this voice gets hard to keep up sometimes, damn. friend number 17, could you bring me a cup of coffee?
That's wild. Obviously just bait, but it's hilarious. That's obviously just bait, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, it gets really exhausting dealing with all these guys. I need some caffeine. Can you put something stronger in there? Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Thanks, babe. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, get out of here, you stupid whore.
Okay, bro. Okay, bro. There's a limit. Okay, brother. No fucking way.
Big fat nerdy nerd. Hi. Sorry, I was off my mat.
Understandable. Have a good day. Sorry, I was... the unbanned requests. Sorry, I was off my meds. Paste. That's outrageous, bro.
That's... Jesus fucking Christ!
Yo, what up, gangsta?
Hi.
I'm back.
Did you wash your hands?
The woman that we do not know where she is. The Filian. Never to be seen again. Probably got her... I don't know. Filipino boy peener exploded. She will never be seen again.
Ah. Right back.
Yuck. Ew.
No, I washed them.
Are you sure?
Problem is, like, when I'm wearing this motion capture stuff, I have gloves on my hands, and I have to take them off when I pee, and then put them back
you
on
do.
completely.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the
Yeah.
butt.
It's a pin, but you have to do that. Did you use soap?
Yeah, always. I always use soap.
And do you make sure you wash your wrists and under your fingernails too?
What are you, my mom? Like, bro, and I'm like standing awkwardly behind you. Hello? Hello?
I don't know. Do you want me to be?
Bruh. Well, that was a quite the hello mommy voice. That's rough. That's rough, bro. I'd be flabbergasted as well.
How many people are in your house?
All of them. In my head. We've been over this.
I thought, don't you live by yourself?
No, I live with my family. What are those lumps on my chest? Where? These are my ribs. Looks like I have massive booba from this angle. I literally have nothing. I'm not wearing a bra or anything. There's just nothing here. I'll take it though. Oh yeah.
Lat as an ironing board. Classic.
Look guys, it's the thing. It's the thing. I'm acting like a
Yeah, those movements are not helping you. Freaky ah.
freak again because I'm nervous. Can we see your collarbone, baby? This feels very, very weird. See it? Look. Told you. Okay. So the other day I was going to my local Starbucks, and when I got to the till, the barista not only had the audacity to be a woman, derogatory, but also
That is such a classic, but I still laugh. That is such a good one, but I still laugh when I see it. Touching your elbow. Yeah. Woman derogatory. And then she spoke to me.
talk to me. This is unacceptable. unreadable, so in no uncertain terms, I screamed, "Excuse me, whore! I'm married! Do not flirt with me!" As I proceeded to show her my phone wallpaper and wallet photos, which were both of my live fallen shadow, and then I proceeded to growl at her until the police arrived to escort me out. So how was you guys' days? Oh yeah, people
Only was missing to call her a void. Moving on.
really did not like my tweet about managers. That wasn't schizophrenia, that was reality. I'm sorry. People don't like that. And then there's like VTuber managers coming up who are like, oh.
There are no VTuber managers. If she has a manager, that's the boyfriend. That's why all these like 100 follower account VTubers have have managers. They don't actually have managers. Those are their boyfriends. Your Oshi isn't single. She's getting back shots and you sit in the chair watching. Anyway, does she even talk like this? I don't know. That is her natural voice. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how you get to that point, but I guess some people's vocal cords just stand still at some point, and that's that. I'm assuming. Hi, Joe, by the way. How you doing? Are you doing well?
But I'm a VTuber manager, and I'm not dating the VTubers I manage. And then the guy has like 10 followers, and he manages 3 VTubers that have like 400 followers, and it's like...
See, there's people that manage VTubers, and there's people that manage VTubers. Just ask Psych, you know. Bro got all of them VTubers. No way, that is her natural voice. That is apparently her natural voice, and the deeper voice she makes actually is the voice that strains her. If she tries to talk deeper, actually, that strains her voice and hurts after a while, so there's that. Anyway, where's your manager boyfriend? Sumex isn't here.
Yeah, but what do you do? Manager can work to negotiate sponsorships, manage social media accounts on platforms you don't frequent, recruit mods, really all the grunt work. But why do you need that when you have 30 viewers? You're not getting any sponsorships. You can probably do your own social media.
It's also funny that a lot of these people, right, they also have cutters, right? And editors, and I'm like, my guy, you are not in the position to pay anybody to do the work for you. Huh? How do we get to this point? Like 400 followers, 10 viewers per stream, and it's like, okay, bro, I'm gonna pay an editor. We are the manager. Communist music gets louder. Cue the Russian anthem. I'm right here. Sorry, rejected.
Huh? And you probably don't need mods if you have 30 viewers. So you're like paying them? But every person that said they had a manager said they weren't paying them. It does. It sounds like... What is the term? It makes me think of snake oil salesmen. A lot of these like small VTubers are young and impressionable, and they're new to the scene, and they know that all the quote-unquote big VTubers, like the corporate ones, have managers. So they think, oh, well, I need a manager to be a VTuber. No, you don't. Most big VTubers, big indies, do not have managers.
So I had to dox myself to make you happy.
And if they do, it's the boyfriend, the husband. Just remember how Shy Lily got surprise attacked while sitting in her manager's underwear. Quote unquote manager. Anyway. Meanwhile, podcasts for managing each other's. I guess. So you could say that. You could say that. There are VTuber clipper companies even where you directly hire clippers. Well, I suppose if there's a market, I don't know. What do you say to that? Also, it's not that hard to edit content. Not really. You don't. Someone with just over 1,000 followers. Indeed. Oh, Filian, is she back? Filian is not back. Filian is not back. Filian has not been seen since.
Yeah.
All right, I'll text you. Okay. All right, just you can't leave this on stream though, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Oh my god, you're so sexy. Jesus Christ.
Thank you. So do you believe
Holy
me now?
fuck. Oh my god, I need a minute. Oh my god.
No, stop!
Just control. There's a market for clippers, so with Steam, can you check Discord request? It's a lot of compilations. Only 17 minutes. Sure, eventually. No, not today, probably though.
Just walk around.
No, I'm an idiot! Stop,
You just
stop!
walk around.
No!
Looking like that.
Okay. Did you save it?
Yeah.
The Fillion fans are so desperate for Fillion that they're now making theories that another VTuber who is similar in content is now Fillion. That's how desperate the homies are. The homies are in dire need of their Oshi. Anyway.
No, are you serious?
Stop corrupting my
Yeah, I saved it to all my devices, every single one. I've backed it up on
No, but
7
are you
different hard
saying did you
drives.
save it or not?
Well, I'm just uploading it to my 5th Google Drive account right now, just to make sure I never erase it.
Please.
Let me just make sure I got it forever.
Put the internet down.
Okay,
With a
goodbye.
lot of people who watch Roll 34, what do you do
Put
when
on your
you hang
smart
out?
fridge.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you rate me?
1 out of 10.
Why did you save it?
It's leverage.
You're gonna blackmail me?
Yeah.
No, you said I look good. Okay.
Yeah, good for nothing. Have you heard me do?
That is how you start an abusive relationship. You give them small bits of love throughout them and throughout the relationship and abuse them more or less. That's how you get here. That's how we all get here eventually. Denial is peak indeed.
My deep, sexy lady voice. I'm sure I've done it at some point.
Can you do it now then?
Hello there, mother.
Oh my god! I heard that! Do it again! Do something else!
Hello there.
Oh, I don't like it!
Help! Send help! Send help! Just that's all I can say. Send help.
It scares me! It sounds like you. Oh, don't! It scares me!
What's wrong? What are you afraid of?
Oh no, don't! Don't touch me a tingly feeling. Stop it! I don't like it. It doesn't sound like it. Oh! It's like you've been possessed. I don't like it. It's scary. That's weird. You've never done that before.
I'm sure I've done voices.
You haven't. That's so weird. Say something else.
Something else.
Oh no! Don't say out else. Oh god! Do you do that voice?
In some videos I do stuff like that. I do voices.
Has Fran heard that voice?
I think so.
That's so weird. That is so bizarre.
First time I spoke to my new psychotherapist on the phone, the psychotherapist was like, "Hi, can I speak to Shondo?" And I said, "Yeah." And then there was like a 10-second pause.
Oh, he did not expect that essentially that voice would come out, right? He expected like a more mature voice. Instead, he was greeted with that. Which, by the way, is no issue, but you know, you wouldn't really, right? You don't hear it all day that a woman has that high of a voice, right? Right? You don't hear that all day. I'd probably be flabbergasted as well if I heard that.
And I kept waiting for her to say something. And I was like, "I'm Shondo." After a 10-second pause. And she said, "Shondo." "Oh, how old are you, Shondo?" I'd already told her that. I guess then I was on the phone and she just didn't believe me. I don't know. I guess I need to answer the phone and be like,
Hello. Yeah.
There's no saving because like there's no saving because right. There's no saving because right. So practically right. If she goes that like that right previously, he's gonna think it's a child. If she does it with the mommy voice essentially right, this person's gonna coom. Anyway, I again poking you the biggest cornballs I have.
Yes, this is Shundo. Is this how a woman in her 20s is supposed to sound?
God, I'm out of practice with that. I can't do it anymore. I'm losing her. She's leaving.
Don't be scared.
There we go. Breathy, not gravity.
Don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of.
There we go. I found her. Yay!
Need to get Barry to save ya, mate. Don't worry about it. What's wrong?
See, this is a good vocal warm-up before I sing. Boom.
Me
You
and my
can't
brother.
say retarded?
No.
Am I not supposed to?
Wait, what? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Me and my brother share an account. That is just nah. Fire him. Sorry, you're not coming back.
I don't know. Chat, what's the policy? I say restarted. What is the policy on that? Is it unallowed now or? Because I know it was banned for a while. I don't know what the patch notes hit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've always said it.
Yes? No. It's fine.
Retarded.
Okay.
Yay!
You made your point.
Yippee! Well, now we know. Now we know if it's okay or not.
A green screen?
A green screen?
Yo! What is that outfit?
Sando, you know what the truth is? I recognize that outfit because I own it.
Hey,
You
yo!
own that.
They made me buy it, dude.
To put on your tight little body.
So, why are you saying that?
Flashback.
Show off your tight little body.
Yo!
It was an innocent question.
That's not.
Very, very innocent, miss. Very, very innocent, I must admit. Poker just going right here, there. I did not. Interesting. Interesting.
Innocent. Stop calling me tight.
Your loose body.
Yes, thank you.
If a kid has a...
That doesn't make it better. That does not make it better. That does not make it better. Stop it. Get some help.
Dream of their own or like a goal in mind, I think everyone should try and pursue that.
Miles Emanuel, BBC News.
Awesome.
Really freaky. Business coming.
You bitch! What the fuck?
Really freaky.
He's like, yeah, you should follow your dreams. And she's like, that fucking weirdo. What a fucking weirdo. What the hell? That's so fucking jealous bullshit. What the fuck? 3D women in shambles. This happens pretty often. 3D women tend to be like really hostile towards VTubers. 3D women are obsolete. No, it's true. Hmm?
Because the 3D women, how do I say this? They can hardly compete. There's a reason for that, I'd say. They can be cruel and want your money. At least the VTubers will treat you nice while sucking out your money.
She later apologized for the rude comment. Yeah, she better. That was just... I know I'm laughing, but that's so rude. Yeah, I remember the incident around Melody. I remember that. I remember that everyone was seething. The anime girl has more viewers than me. Men like her more. Get over it. Get with the times. We don't like real women anymore. What, you mean these virtual women go online and make money and I have to spend 3 hours putting makeup on? Yep, get over it. Your days are over. Your womb is...
Unfortunately, they found a way. They have found a way to avoid this as well. Now they can start out as a VTuber and be a whore on another platform. And people will be like, oh, seal clapping, VTuber. No, you're just an e-girl. They're literally just e-girls. There's V-thoughts, as I have officially dubbed them, right? I'm so proud if I see more and more people using it. Because before me, I think nobody actually used that. So yeah, eventually I dropped it and people were using it on Twitter. Twitch is so overstimulating. Why there's small emoji flying on screen That's probably specifically for her. Unless like they added like a weird thing where like I think they added a weird thing where it was like emojis being spammed everywhere as well. It looked horrible, by the way.
It's drying up. My womb is eternal. Future's now, hag. What do you want to bet you went home and like Googled how much it costs to get a VTuber model?
With 3 million troops, Hitler launched the largest ground invasion in history, and Stalin was far from ready. Both Churchill and Roosevelt had warned him of an impending attack, but he dug his head in the sand, and the Soviets didn't stand a chance. Germany
Hitler's
made
my
staggering
friend.
progress, with
He
huge
wouldn't
encircling
do
movements
that.
capturing mind-boggling numbers of Russian troops.
Why would you
Napoleon, at the
invade one of
non-stop
your
moves,
friends?
300,000 at
Like, you would
Smolensk,
take care of
nearly
everyone else
700,000
first,
at
right?
Kiev.
Like,
Leningrad
that's
was
such a
put under
dumb
siege that would
thing.
last
Why would I not overrun communists? I don't see any problems. The thing is, like, right? This would have not ended that well if it just packed a bunch of. Would have ended better if he packed on some fucking winter clothes. And by the way, Finland absolutely cooked Russia, as far as I'm aware, because they couldn't use tanks in that territory. The territory was very, very unpleasant for tanks.
Dude, that's such a stupid mistake. Numbers. Which, like, if you come to my stream for 5 minutes, you'll know that I don't care about numbers. I don't talk about numbers. I try and stay the frick away from numbers, because I think that's a terrible mindset to have. For me, if I grow, I grow. If I don't, I don't. Like, I'm not gonna sit here with the number counter on, going... 3 viewers left! 3 viewers left! I'm gonna make 10 tweets about it!
Indeed. There's so many people, right, that like go on Twitter and complain like, "Oh, I've got so many viewers, so little viewers." Buddy, if you have like right with like 80, and I'm like, buddy, you're like in the top 0. something% of Twitch streamers. What do you want, bitch? What do you want? I've seen right, major content creators, like huge content creators, complain about it, right? Straight up complain about that they're not getting enough viewers, right? Merriweather did this, and I was like, are you stupid? Like, are you genuinely stupid? Right? It's just crazy.
I lost 10 viewers! My career is over! Why do I even try? Do you guys even care? What am I doing wrong? Why are you leaving? Come back! I deserve you! I spent 10K on this model!
That sounds so familiar. I know people that spent like I knew people that spent like a few $1,000 on the model and then quit VTubing, graduated 2 weeks later. Because, well, it didn't end up the way they wanted it, right? They didn't get their way, right? They probably thought they would blow up immediately, right? That didn't happen though.
You can't afford $10, but it's meant to twist up to force up. I love drama. This person has less viewers than me, so I'm going to send my audience after them. Your opinion is wrong because I have more viewers than you. By the way, guys, I'm debuting next week. You should come to my debut. And
I'm slowly starting to see the appeal of mentally ill women. Anyway. Socialists versus communists are like two leeches taking all blood of each other. Indeed. That hat one is the only one I want YouTube to add, peak.
actually tweeted this. Great, now we sit back and watch people unfollow me.
I mean, come on, like, if I saw this, Like, if I looked through this and I saw this, I would also be like, what the fuck is going on?
They're saying you're impenetrable. What does that mean? Are you effing made out of unobtainium?
No, I'm very penetrable.
Okay.
My torso is soft and squishy.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's
I mean, that's like most people. Unless you're like Ahmed. I don't think that's like what. That could be so out of context, which is absolute peak.
Okay, that's what I thought too. What, do you think the world is run by global elites?
Maybe?
Do you care?
No.
What if they're putting lead in the water you drink?
I use a filter.
What if they make the lead unfilterable?
Guess I'll drink lead.
Do you care about anything?
I don't know. I don't leave my house. Why should those things bother me?
So what do you think of men who get cooked?
I think that's really sad. They should, can I say that?
What?
Oh god, don't say it. Say it.
I think they should beat their wives.
In a game. In a game! In a game! Kinda based. Actually kinda based. Actually kinda based. Never mind. That's very based, actually. Then I will give Poke head pats when he says something stupid or does something stupid. It will be like, yes, Poke, you are right. No, stop it. Control yourself. I guess I kinda agree with her. I kinda agree with her. In a game, of course, in Minecraft, right? Like, craft like a name tag, put it on a villager, call it wife, and then beat it. That kind of thing, of course. Yeah, this was a lot more unhinged than the Pippa clips. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And guys, remember, he's very penetrable. Look, it's Filian proof. She isn't Filian. Yeah, that one. That one. Yeah, that's the new VTuber that people call Filian. It's kind of hilarious. It is. It kind of is. It's funny. It's funny. I like it. It's funny. It's very funny. It's very, very funny. Anyway. In-game Pokemon. In-game for legal purposes. Yes, in-game. For illegal purposes, actually. Gonna create a realistic Minecraft wife beating mod. So you Poke, you are soft too. Slur. Why are you gay? You are gay. Anyway, next thing I wanted to watch, right? Alright, so let's watch a video. Let's watch. Bro, I just went straight up German. Let's watch the commie video and then part 3 of the most legendary VTuber crash out that I've ever seen. This might be definitely one of those. Anyway, let's watch that one. Stop laughing, gay man. Homosexual. Anyway, let's go in. I know I had 3 hours of sleep last night. My neck hurts still after 3 days. I slept weirdly. I don't know what my neck did last night. Maybe the apple boxed me into the neck. I'll hold chibi clips for next week. Oh god, goodness gracious. And yeah, my neck is just in pain. My neck is just in pain. It's been in pain for like 3 days now. Coming with a headache, by the way. I don't know how, but it came with that as well. Anyway. The Fat Electrician Hates Communism featuring Donut Operator as per unsubscribed clips. We're gonna look at this. I hate communism too, so I guess we've got something in common, I suppose. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I guess we've got things in common. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Germany is full of, you know, one of the countries that right in Europe that like had a rough history with socialism and communism, is very moving towards that again, which is very interesting. I'd say United States, get ready. All I can say. Anyway, and to be fair, hot take, a lot of the major, more important movements throughout history are arguably somewhat communism. LGBTQ communism, feminism in its spirit is communist. Arguably the civil rights movement, MLK was preaching also socialism and communism. It's everywhere, actually. Even in modern times, it's everywhere.
Bro,
I've spent the last 48 hours of my life just raging communism simps because Donald Trump
haven't done it right
Donald
yet.
Trump had that fucking comment about how like, oh, Russia beat the Nazis, and now it's weird because like Donald Trump, right, but like communist sympathizers left, and now all the communist sympathizers are like, yes, Russia beat the Nazis by themselves, and I'm just shitting on all.
No, that did not happen. By the way, that did not. If the United States did not get involved in World War II, we'd all speak German. We would just all speak. So there would be 3 major countries if the United States did not get involved: Japan, Germany, the United States, and that's it. Everything else would either be German, Japanese, or American. That's it. Right? Because remember, the Germans did sit in Moscow. That's how far they got. Anyway.
All of them. And it's I can't handle being on X. I'm gonna get canceled if I go on there and have to argue with these fucking people.
But it's fun. Twitter is fun. It's just a shouting match. Who has the most viewers? You know, who ratios who? Right? If you have more followers, you can ratio somebody. And if you ratio somebody, we all know that you're right.
As you're saying, it is this quick history lesson. You're going to see, yes, Russia threw a fuck ton of bodies and helped stop the war machine that was Nazi Germany.
Yes, but if your claim to fame is we had the most people die, that's a really shitty stat. I'm sorry. Like,
That's been done.
Imagine if I was in the NBA Finals and LeBron dunked on me the most amount of times, and I was like, I deserve to be MVP because I gave up the most.
True. Considering that, you know, it's like, I don't feel like that's something to brag about, being like, yeah, oh yeah, we had the most casualties, by the way. It's like, huh? What? No, that's not how that works. Indian too. Remember, Indian leaders and H-Man had good relations. So did H-Man and Stalin, and see what happened. A contract to not attack each other. See how that goes. Because at the end of the day, the Indians are German.
Points.
No.
That's
Oh my
fucking
God.
stupid.
Did you know about the NBA? That's impressive.
It's more like League of Legends or Call of Duty, like Warzone. It is you and your 3 buddies are at the top, and that 4th person on that team has a KD of .006. He's died 80 times. Bro, got 1 kill. He's like, this is my fucking war.
You get all these fucking dudes that simp over. Oh, did you know the USSR actually manufactured more tanks than America during World War II? Oh, did they? Did they really?
You're scaring
really
me.
interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
Who'd America send to the Soviet Union in, I don't know, like fucking 1929 and started their entire industrial revolution when he founded the Stalingrad tractor factory?
Who?
Oh, it was Albert Kahn, aka the architect of fucking Detroit. Literally, America started your entire manufacturing capability. And you're gonna sit here and try to flex on me like that's a fucking big W for communism. How much fucking money did America give to the Soviet Union in the early years of World War II? Like what $11 billion? You're like, oh, that's
much
not
is
a
that
lot.
today?
That's not a lot of money. It's like fucking $246 billion-ish dollars. What's Russia's military budget right now?
I don't know.
$86 billion.
I don't know.
You gave them 3 times the annual military.
It's crazy, right? Nowadays, they can't even defend themselves in the air. They don't really have any aircrafts. It's kind of crazy, right? That's why like, people are like, oh, Russia would body the West, right? There's commie fuckers are like, oh, Russia would body the West. And I'm like, buddy, they can't even defend their airspace because they got nothing. They can't even get past Ukraine. What are you on about? With the help of everyone else. It's interesting. What do you think? What it's crazy.
Fucking budget, and you're gonna come to me and be like, oh, communism's the fucking best. Yeah, when it's funded by fucking capitalism, sure it is. Why the fuck wouldn't it be?
Even Cuba has slowly opened the borders to foreign investors. No wonder. They smell the money. And I can tell you this will also eventually happen to North Korea. Eventually, all of these countries see the light.
Okay, the same reason you hear everybody like, no, did you know that fucking Cuba has the best healthcare system in the fucking world? And the only reason that Cuba isn't a communist fucking paradise is because America put an embargo on them and refused to do business on them. Yeah, maybe, but explain to me in logical fucking reasoning why it is that a communist fucking utopia can't exist because capitalism isn't going to work with them. It can't exist on its own. They need capitalists to fucking work with them for them to fucking survive, okay? At the end of the day, I've never seen a fucking capitalist.
True. It's very interesting. They blame the US for that, and it's like, yeah, but see, if you can't sustain yourself, then I have questions. If you rely that much on others, right? If you're such a communist utopia, right? And you can't rely on your own system, then it's not worth having. Right? It's that simple. It really is. And also notice these people, right? These like communism glazers, they never actually live in those countries. Never. They don't live in those countries. Bosh, he's gonna move to the Netherlands. Not going to move to China. It's not going to move to Cuba. It's not going to move to North Korea. Why is that? Why is that? Good question. Anyway.
Trying to build a fucking raft out of shitty, broken fucking tires to swim across shark-infested water to make their way to Florida to fucking escape, okay?
Oh, Venezuela.
Get over it. Communism fucking sucks. You're never going to convince me otherwise. You're fucking wrong. If you think that the USSR single-handedly beat the Nazis in World War II, you're fucking wrong. Objectively speaking, I can't fucking help you. Okay? Did they help? Absolutely. I'm happy to admit that they contributed to beating the Nazis. If you think they did it on their own, it's because you're breathing through your mouth and you're objectively fucking retarded. Those are the only fucking reasons that you would think that. Okay? Furthermore, the only reason that World War II even fucking happened is because the Nazis and the USSR had an agreement that they were gonna go ahead. They're like, oh, go ahead, invade fucking Poland, and we're gonna have separate spheres of influence, and then we're not gonna fight, and then the Nazis attack the USSR anyways, and then they join the fucking Allies, okay? So the USSR is the reason that World War II even fucking happened. You don't get to claim credit for being the only ones that fucking won, okay? Shut the fuck up. I can't fucking...
Bro, it's Angie. But that's very true. Well, arguably, technically, the reason that World War II happened is also, for one, it's the Weimar Republic, that entire system being incredibly faulty. For one, it's also the harsh conditions put on the German people by France and the UK. That is also something that nobody wants to mention. But those were also a driving force, right? That contract. Versailles, right? That contract. Also in parts at fault. As far as I'm aware, the US actually wasn't fond of those harsh conditions, but the French and the British did it anyway.
handle it. Like, I got 2 sons, and then people are like, oh, you do jujitsu. You're a big, fucking tough, manly man.
You are.
What if your kids grew up, what if one of them was gay? I don't care at all. They can be gay all they want. It's not going to bother me at all. But if my child grows up to simp over the USSR or the German military, I'm going to consider myself a fucking failure as a father because my kid's objectively fucking retarded, okay?
Yeah.
That's not acceptable to me. I fucking hate it.
Dude, going to college with you must be a fucking nightmare.
No, try being a fucking professor.
Your teacher's like, this is college algebra. We just asked you to help us with the problem.
So this is Art 101?
Bro, it's terrible.
Everyone in your class is like this.
You guys should see the fucking diatribes that Nick writes. And he sends us of arguing with college kids.
Dude, he bullies. That's your Twitter.
Yeah, you do in-person Twitter.
Well, then again, right? We also have to say, commies think everything's a Nazi that doesn't agree with them, right? Which is actually really interesting, right? I always say this, but they always go like, "Oh, you're a white supremacist. You're a Nazi," and I'm like, first of all, both no. Second of all, the Nazis weren't white supremacists. They were German supremacists. They believed first and foremost German people were superior to everyone else. That's why they, for example, thought that the French were not. Because according to them, they were too mixed. Same technically applies to the Italians. Same applies to the Polish. Every other Slavic country, right? It's important. That is an important fact, right? That is something important. But communists cannot differentiate that one either. Leftists. Actually, at this point, they might just be synonyms.
You do in Twitter and IRL, like, oh my god.
Have you what's the last battle you've been in on your college frontier?
It was that, actually. Somebody was like, actually, you know, the Soviet Union manufactured more fucking tanks, and it was me just going off. Like, actually, the only reason they could manufacture tanks is because America sent their best fucking engineers to the USSR to teach them how to manufacture tanks. Furthermore, your tanks are shit. Also, America gave you like 4,000 fucking
I mean, the tanks didn't ever reach Finland because the terrain wasn't functional there, so there's that.
German tanks and 400,000 trucks. Did you know that in 1945, over fucking 3/4 of all the vehicles that the USSR military had were fucking manufactured by America? Go fuck yourself. If you're gonna sit here and be like, communism's better because they can manufacture more shit, only because America's funding you, okay? The only reason that you motherfuckers were running proxy wars in Afghanistan in the 80s and 90s were because America taught you how to do it, because we did it to you in World War II. Go
pretty much. The neo-Nazis are different. They claim themselves white supremacists. Then they're not Nazis. The core ideology of this, right, the core part of this ideology is Germans are superior. That's all. That is the core ideology of that. Germans are superior to everyone else. That's why, for example, the Swedish were totally fine because, or the Netherlands were fine. Denmark is fine. Finland is fine. Norway's fine, right? Those countries were fine. Austria was fine because they consider them to be Germans. Which, ethnically, in parts, they are, because they are Germanic. But anyway. If you don't believe that Germans are superior to everyone else, or Germanic people, you automatically cannot be a Nazi by that ideology. It does not work that way. It does not work that way. That's why, for example, somebody from Italy cannot be one. Somebody from France cannot be one. Somebody from Poland cannot be one. They're essentially just a moron. That's what they are.
fuck yourself. Communism sucks. Jesus Christ.
Just some kid like this, just being like,
standing over.
What was the response?
I get it up.
What was the response?
That wasn't real communism. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. Okay.
Every time you call these countries communist, they come with the, oh, it wasn't real communism. Can you show me real communism? You know, it has really, for a lot of these, like, socialist type of people, right? It has really, that one video by Caleb Hammers really blackpilled me, right? About these people that I genuinely believe they have no idea what they're talking about. This blue-haired lady sat in there and was not able to name any system that she would rather live in. Any. Right? Anything but, she was like, anything but capitalism. And I'm like, you were not able to name a single thing outside of that, right? Yeah, right? Like, usually you would expect these people to go for like, oh, like Sweden. And like, yeah, but Sweden is still capitalist. They're still, right? When people name, oh, socialist countries like Sweden, I'm like, Sweden is still capitalist. They still thrive on capitalism. Yeah, sure, they have a lot more social programs, I suppose, and they are the closest to, I suppose, equality of opportunity. Not outcome, by the way. That they couldn't be further from that, actually. In fact, they're much worse than any other countries, especially gender divide. It's very interesting, right? Men went even more into these technical groups, like technical jobs, and like women more into these like social jobs, right? It's very interesting, but they do love to use that as an argument. But yeah, I feel like these people do not know anything. They don't know anything about this. Back to the point, that's why they never move into actual socialist countries.
Problem you have with capitalism? That's not real capitalism.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. Get out of here.
We just haven't done it right yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at you.
We're
You're
like one more. Fucking bro. Like fucking 1, 2, maybe 3 tops. 3 more genocides, and we're gonna hammer out this whole communism idea. Okay, look. Communism is fucking stupid. Communism is perfect on paper. Okay, it's the greatest way to live that's ever been devised. The problem with having a perfect work of art is you're trying to apply it to an imperfect canvas, and that is humans. Humans are greedy, arrogant, stupid assholes. Everybody is at some point during the day. It's just a matter of how often you are that person. Everybody's a stupid, arrogant, greedy. This is why fucking roundabouts don't work, right? Roundabouts are basically communism, right? They're the communism of road structures, okay? Are they better on paper? Absolutely.
The thing is, communist ideas are embedded into many quote unquote equality movements. They're not really about equality, but regardless, right? You can see that everywhere, right? For example, men and women are equal when there's factually, right? Factually, there's no evidence for that, right? There's no evidence for that. I'm saying women are lesser. I'm just saying that we're not the same, right? We cannot do the same. We're not built the same. Medically, we're different. Even our brains were different. We technically would need even different types of therapy. Right? LGBTQ, that's a classic, right? Because a lot of these people are already in that thing, so there's that, right? But like, there's a lot of, arguably, even BlackRock is arguably pushing it. Anyway.
They're way more efficient. Except for Janet is in her fucking minivan.
Wokeness itself is arguably communism.
Trying to hand little Tommy fucking Cheetos while she's trying to take a fucking roundabout at 65 miles an hour, and it doesn't fucking work, okay? Get
it's
over
the redistribution of payment.
Humans are dumb, and you have to take it.
It doesn't work because mostly it aims to eradicate greed, but greed is something that's human, so you cannot eradicate something that's deep inside humans. Marxism, that's the same thing. It's just fancy said, but it's the same thing, right? Socialism arguably is not the same thing, but when we look at like Lenin, right, she basically said the end goal of socialism is communism. They're all the same, right? And that doesn't obviously, right? If you look at like Marx, right, and you read a lot of his stuff, my guy wasn't that far off to the mustache man, actually. Sure. And then there's also the whole the issue, right? That technically fascism and socialism, while there are different ideologies, they practically almost use the same systems, right? State media, like media control, technically the removal of private property, arguably oppression of groups. That is pretty much normal in both of these, right? Don't argue with me. They put the Muslims in China into camps. Forget it. What are other similarities? Right? Massive propaganda. They're almost the same functionality wise. That's why right. There's no argument to be made. That's why I'm saying they're both equally as evil, and they should both right. If I see a hammer and a sickle, I'm like, can we ban this? Because I don't see any reason why the one is banned and the other one isn't. Neither of these should exist, and they shouldn't be seen in public. What about imperialism? Also not a good idea. I think most countries should stick to themselves for the most part, right? At least when it comes to making their own politics, unless like something absolutely abhorrent is happening. But yeah, I think, yeah, it's that, to me, it's that simple.
Into account when you're trying to build a civilization. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it works.
God, I love you, Nick.
I fucking hate communism. Have I brought this up?
I don't know.
Roundabouts are communism?
Yes.
I love that.
100%.
I get so mad at it because people will stop. And now I get it because people stop it. Like, you have people that go through. They're like, oh, no one's coming. I'll go. But some people will yield and they'll just.
DEI is also just communism.
Stop.
Just sit there.
Go. And you are right. It is the individual.
It's perfect on paper, but people fuck it up.
Yeah, it's exactly like returning your shopping cart back to the little fucking stall. Mm-hmm. You can't rely on everyone to do that.
No, you cannot.
And it gets that great internet video, that one dude that throws.
No, it throws fucking stickers on people's cars and
they
shit.
get so pissed.
He's still out there, right? Isn't he like doing that?
He's doing internet
fighting
content.
a good fight.
Dude, he gets
It'll be all right,
so
buddy.
angry.
And then you get fucking, and then you get fucking Tucker Carlson going to Russia, being like, "Oh, fucking Russian grocery stores are so great. You have to put 10 rubles into the grocery cart, and then that incentivizes you to return the grocery cart back to where it was." Yeah, fucking America does that too. It's called Aldi.
Yeah.
Okay, we invented it in West Germany in 1940. Fucking.
I mean, Russia pretty much just copies a lot of things, right? That happened to McDonald's. It happened to Coke, right? That happens to a lot of things, actually. There's a lot of off-brand stuff.
Right after World War II. Yeah, we do that too.
I literally wrote a paper on that in business school. It's the most successful grocery store
Aldi's
chain
the shit
in the world.
Aldi's the greatest grocery store.
I did
on
a
the
case
planet.
study on it for like a month.
You want to know the number one consumer rated best grocery store in America? It's Aldi. Yep. You want to know the number 2 store?
H-E-B.
It's Trader Joe. Guess who owns Trader Joe?
Aldi.
Okay,
Yep.
because the Aldi brothers were two German soldiers right after World War II.
I want to open the grocery store.
They started their own grocery store. Okay, do you understand the fucking? Do you understand?
Let him cook.
Do you understand how hard it would be?
See, the thing is, right, technically, if you look at like a lot of these like brands and shops and just like generally, right, they all technically belong to the same corporate mass, right? They all belong to the same people and stuff. Like a few ways around, like these off. For example, you have like brand toast, and then you have off-brand toast. But when you look at the off-brand toast, it's technically just the brand. It's technically the same toast, but it's manufactured by a different person, but it's technically owned by the same people regardless. It's just all the same corporate mass. Which is very interesting.
To open a fucking grocery store in West Germany in 1946, they're playing on fucking hardcore mode. Okay, they founded a grocery store. It worked great. Two brothers, and then in like the 1980s, they're like, "I want to have cigarettes," and the other brother's like, "I don't want to have cigarettes," and they're like, "Cool. Let's separate. You run half the Aldis, I'll run the other half of the Aldis, and then we'll just have 2 separate businesses, but we'll work together." And that's what they did. And they had Aldi North and Aldi South. in Germany, right?
very German.
Then they came to America. You can't have Aldi and Aldi in America due to trademarks. So they're like, fuck it, we'll be Aldi and Trader Joe. And that's fucking what's going on in America right now. They're the greatest grocery store
divided in the middle
ever.
They're divided right down the
they
middle.
just divided it.
It's like they
Humanism is democratic and ethical worldview that centers on human value, agency, and reason. It rejects supernatural beliefs, choosing instead to rely on science, experience, and compassion to shape moral value and finding meaning in life. There's multiple issues with that. Who decides what's moral without a proper moral giver? That means you are essentially relying on subjective morality, which is a slippery slope into being able to justify heinous things. There's also an issue with trusting the science. We have trusted the science during the pandemic. And a lot of stuff came out about this that were straight up lies. For example, lots like the first initial waves of vaccines. They didn't know if these would work. They weren't tested enough. Anyway, we have an issue with human value because for a lot of people, you gain value once you have been born, which is an issue. Even though technically a fertilized egg is already a baby because it is the first developmental stage of a human. So we have an issue there. There's a lot of issues, right? I think we need some form of objective morality. Otherwise, we get a slight issue. And relying on compassion is a problem because if you become too compassionate, you become like the West is now, which is you invite a lot of people that start stabbing others, that start stabbing the native population. It is an issue. It is an issue. The problem is the current best system we have right now, as we can tell, even though it's not perfect, is capitalism, right? People in the West are usually not starving, and if they do starve, usually sometimes it's their own fault. For example, here in Germany, nobody would be homeless, but people choose to live on the street instead.
It was
they
very
couldn't help
divided.
themselves.
Germany was very. It was like
was there a wall or something?
There was a wall. He had the Berlin Wall. They had East and West, like
Yeah.
capitalism, communism, hungry, fed, that whole shtick. But then they had North and West, which is Aldi North, Aldi South, the two.
To the communists, when the wall fell, I have a question. When the wall fell, who ran to the other side? Who fled the other side? Who fled the other side and dying while trying to get over the wall? That is all you need to know.
Brothers, one had cigarettes, one didn't. One became Trader Joe's. The other one's just Aldi. It's the greatest grocery store ever. No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's the number one thing that you studied like in business school about a company and like understanding scale. Like it's literally like I studied all the economics of it. Everything he says is right.
That jumped fast. Do not continue playing, thank you. I hate that autoplay happens, but I can't turn it off for playlists. It's very interesting. I tried, but it just doesn't stop. Anyway, let me jump towards the end.
A company and like understanding.
That's pretty much there. Perfect. Anyway, yeah, I can tell he doesn't like communism. To be fair, most people probably do not like communism. Because they like living a comfortable life, and communism doesn't do that. It also, one big problem that communism does is, right, which is very interesting for all these people because they're very idealistic, like individualistic, right? It rejects individualism, which means that right, it favors sharing the same belief, right, over what you think as a person, right, which very much contradicts these people, but because at the same time they want to be like individualistic, at the same time they want communism, but those technically reject each other. It's very interesting. Anyway, fantastic. I like him a lot. All right, that is done as well. Now then, I want to do the VTuber crash out because I love VTuber crash outs. I do. So let's do that. Let's do that. Oh, by the time we finish this, the stream might be over. Anyway, Should be fine. We can do that as well down there then. Doesn't really matter. Let me drink some water. Let me drink some water. Water. Yeah, it's still warm, regardless, right? It's still really warm. It's gonna get up tomorrow as well again, which is unfortunate, but you can't really do much. The temperatures stay probably very high. It is what it is. Anyway, we're gonna look at this. Woke VTuber accuses my viewers of conducting hate raids and silencing her in hilarious crash out. Yes, this is part 3. We have a part 3 of the Nithedra Chronicles, if you want to call it that, right? The one that left the voice note behind. Anyway, this is a ref video. We're gonna go in. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, part 3, right? The Chronicles continue.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So it's not every day that we have a trilogy on this series. I have covered countless examples of VTuber related drama, but it's pretty rare that we get a 3-part series, but that's exactly what we have today. So another massive day for the unemployed.
Return of the King.
So this whole situation involves a VTuber by the name of Nitha, who has been virtue signaling about no words on the internet, which led to a multi-day crash out when they received criticism. And of course, when I made my 2 videos talking about them, the crash outs got even worse. In fact, after my most previous video, they decided to go on Twitter and make this post in response to people criticizing them, basically saying that all of you, yes you, are a part of a deranged hate cult and apparently only criticize people like Nitha because of reasons like this, which seems not so woke of this supposedly progressive.
Kinda homophobic if you ask me. Anyway, isn't calling somebody gay as an insult homophobic? That's very interesting.
Individual. And to follow that up, they wrote an entire light novel talking about all these
Half a Bible, bro. That do be a Bible. That is a Bible. Indeed. Holy crash out. Thousands of hate accounts descended on my page over the last week. And one of the biggest right-wing grifters, by the way, it is not worth it to be a quote-unquote, a right-wing grifter, because people cut their support off. You get a lot of harassment. You get insulted. Like, what are you grifting to? You make a lot less money, right? You make a lot less money. So, like, this doesn't make sense to grift to right-wingers, right? Even though I'm a right-winger. But it doesn't make sense to grift to right-wing politics. Right? This doesn't make sense. From a financial perspective, it doesn't make sense. And the YouTube community made a YouTube video about me warping the situation, pulling things out of context to fit his narrative. Because I called out a VTuber they all follow who openly uses racial, homophobic, transphobic, and ableist slurs, very based. They could not defend what they said, so they did what people like this always do when the person criticizing them is a woman. They search for a page for something sexual and start calling me. But that is literally what you are. That is your job. That is your profession. It's not even an insult because that is literally a profession. And nope, none of this, by the way, was out of context. You literally just started being hostile, right? She told you to stick to your own business. You came over to an unrelated tweet and started being hostile. Even so much so, crash out, you started leaving a voice note. So, like, well, there's that. Anyway.
Things going on in the VTubing scene, including these supposed hate raids.
The fact that the VTuber herself is a woman makes this behavior even more embarrassing. Makes her behavior even more embarrassing. Which is, oh, it's the, women are a hive mind. If a woman disagrees with me, she's not a woman, right? That type of thing, right? It's like if you don't vote Democratic, you're not black as a black person, right? The same thing. Anyway, it's interesting. Women are not a hive mind. If she hasn't noticed that. Women are not a hive mind. If you are retarded as a woman, you are retarded as a woman. There's no difference.
People like myself are conducting against this individual. Yeah, you guys must have missed the memo on that. I know. I scheduled a hate raid, as I always do on this channel, apparently. But yeah, that's their claim, and they're not handling the second video very well. But this is the first video I uploaded, where I was talking about a very interesting situation, a beef between Nitha and another VTuber by the name of Nani. So Nitha here decided to weigh in on a controversy involving some league drama where a VTuber was saying no words like the dreaded R slur, where Nitha said people like that should be deplatformed, and also said that they're putting on a baby voice and that they're pedo baiting. We have Nani here, who had a very different response to this drama. As you can see, they don't seem to have a problem with that word. But of course, Nani would later post an appreciation post for her stream, and Nitha would jump in the replies and pick a fight, saying, have you ever thought about shutting the F up? And then we got this epic voice memo.
I think what misses here is... Yeah, right. Nani also came onto her tweet crying about it, to tell her to stick to her business, essentially, right? Nithedra did not like that. And there's that. There's that. It was really that simple. It was really that simple. It's like, oh, you've been caught being a dickhead. I'm gonna call you out for being a dickhead. And later then you come to me and tell me that I'm the dickhead, while you were the dickhead. Anyway.
Directed towards Nani and her community.
Now I know some slur slinging.
No, not again! Not again. Oh god, listen to it.
Pick me is not on a moral high ground pretending to be better than me because I'm an adult and I do not say for work content. Honey, you say slurs. You're racist, you're homophobic, you say derogatory slurs for attention with a lolly model to be pedo bait. Honey, there is no comparison. You've lost. And all of these chronically online edgelord incels are going to come white knight you when they see these posts.
It's just funny considering that she literally appeals to the quote-unquote insults, because if you're a man with a little bit of dignity, you don't pay for that kind of stuff, right? If you want it, be a man and get it for free. Look up the leaks. But don't pay for that stuff. That's just miserable. I'm sorry. It is. I'm gonna say this might be harsh, but I feel like this is miserable.
But just remember one thing. You know who your target audience is. You got them already. We both know what you're doing.
Talking like this in your voice, so people watch me and find me interesting, retard.
Really, you got a hell of a personality there. I'm really impressed.
Now, of course, I featured all of that.
It's that comically evil voice again. Laugh again. Stop. Stop.
Cringe and more in my first video. But of course, Nitha was not a big fan, tagging me on Twitter in this post, saying how I validated her, you're welcome, and said that my bigoted hate cult has been sent to dogpile her. And that's very funny. And, well, she would send more voice memos like this one, and I have to say, it was even more cringe than the first one.
This is an outrage. She's supposed to protect her tweets. We want to gang up on her. Believe it. I will be the next Grand Hokage.
Well, you're certainly the Hokage.
I'm so mad I'm Arthur fisting. I want her to feel like a whore. She needs to feel like a whore. We're racist, but
you don't feel like one. You are one. That is your profession is literally prostitute. That is your profession. Moving on.
But we want her to be sad and mute her account so we win. Yeah, hate will prevail.
Did you guys want any more villainous monologues? I got a bunch for you.
The previous one was a villainous monologue. This is just cringe.
But after her villain monologue, she decided to flex her viewers. And not only flex her viewers, which is already really cringe, but she decided to view shame Nani for only getting 78 total viewers on her recent stream, which, by the way, I think is a great number for a VTuber that's only been around for about a year. But of course, in my post dedicated to me, you see there's now hidden replies, where this user says,
she's deleting tweets. Yeah, of course she is. Of course she is. That does infinite damage to her as a creator. It just does, right? This whole disaster.
she's deleting tweets, and of course that got hidden as well. And that's true because she is deleting tweets. You can see from my previous video, this was one of the many examples of her flexing her numbers on social.
By the way, view shaming is gay and retarded. Anyway, I said my piece. Especially since, like, when it comes from... It's, like, funny, right? Especially if it comes from somebody... See, here's my take. If you take out the sexual part, most of his viewers are gone. I've seen it happen before. I've seen viewers dropping the sexual part and losing, like, 80% of their viewer base, right? From, like, 300-400 viewers to, like, down to, like, a fraction of that, like, 80 viewers. Which is, by the way, still great, but, like... That way you can tell that these people are... See, these people are just there so they can consume you, right? I think... Not that they watch you, but, like, literally consume, right? That's what I think. That's why I think is, right? Corn is just arguably consuming people, but that's not what we're here for. But yeah, arguably, it also has a ceiling, right? I think that in the long term, Nani will be a much bigger and more successful creator than and somebody with a much stronger, how do you say it, bond to her community than this person. That is what I believe.
Social media to validate herself, and that has been deleted. Now, of course, the crash outs would continue, and she would make this post talking about how we're just balls of energy existing on a floating rock in space, and that we should all just do what we love and leave each other alone. Of course,
I disagree with that statement. I heavily, in fact, disagree with that statement. Because... Right? You cannot just do whatever you want. You can't. Right? You can't. I am always a strong proponent of the idea, instead of doing what feels right, do what is good. Right? Do not do what just feels good. Do what actually is good, what benefits you in the long term. Just because it feels good doesn't mean it's actually going to be good.
You can do that as long as you're not saying no words on the internet, or you have a high-pitched voice, which apparently makes you predator bait. But anyways, people in the replies pointed out something that I missed, and thank you for the clarification. They said, she pulled the Ludwig, we are all just balls of dust in space. I totally forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me of that moment.
Wait, what? That exists? I need to look this up later.
So, her copying Jellywig is very funny stuff. But of course, I made my second video, and that was a comment to it, where I talked about the further crash outs, and well, it appears that Nitha was not a fan of that video as well.
A third crash out has hit the tower.
So then she made this heart-wrenching soliloquy, and I'm going to read it with you guys. It's worth it, trust me. But let's get to it. Thousands of hate accounts descended upon my page for the last week, and one of the biggest right-wing grifters in the VTubing community made a YouTube video about me warping the situation, pulling things out of context to fit his narrative, because I called a VTuber they all follow who openly uses racial, homophobic, transphobic, and ableist slurs. Ah yes, I'm the big right-wing grifter. Now, of course, I would love for Nitha to provide any proof that I'm a grifter, and by the way, grifter doesn't mean someone you dislike on the internet. It means someone who's faking their beliefs publicly for monetary gain. I would love for you to show me how I'm faking my beliefs for monetary gain in my video. And I would also love, by the way, for you to prove that I'm pulling things out of context when I'm reading your tweets. I'm basically reading every tweet you're providing. The context makes you look bad. That's not on me. That's on you. But let's continue. They could not defend what she said. Didn't need defending. So they did what people like this always do when the person criticizing them is a woman. They searched my page for something sexual and started calling me a schmore. I never did that.
Oh yeah, right. He never did that. But I did.
I mean, you're lumping me in this conversation. I never said that whatsoever. The only thing that I really commented on in regards to that is the fact that you claimed you don't show your body for content. Meanwhile, you're a self-described lewd tuber with adult content, including content on the hub, which, by the way, I will reiterate, the fact that you're still on that platform is disgusting. The hub had to delete 95% of its content because they're being pressed, because basically the entire platform had a epidemic.
I think that a lot of these major adult platforms likely have underage content. There was... See, for example, OnlyFans was not able to disclose the instances of how often underage material gets uploaded. And my theory is they actually do not know that. That is my theory. They actually do not know that, and they do not check. That is all I can say. My theory is that all of these major platforms, including Fansly, probably have content that shouldn't be on there. Anyway. These platforms just invite that. That's a reality.
With illegal content, and it was so prevalent they had to basically nuke the entire site's content in order to get rid of the enormous amount of illegal material. Anyone still operating there, I'm side-eyeing you. Yep, I'm side-eyeing you for supporting a platform like that. But they continue saying that is genuinely the entire argument. The fact that the VTuber herself is a woman makes her behavior even more embarrassing. Her entire persona appears to revolve around platforming for male approval.
She's making adult content for dudes to stroke it. You are the definition of male approval. You are literally you are the definition of that. How does she not see that? All right, because she does it for herself. Yeah, we do not believe you, by the way.
As the woman who sells adult content, guess who is your primary audience? Men. Anyways, attacking other women, parroting anti-woman talking points, saying slurs to seem edgy, and carefully feeding her audience whatever she knows will make them cheer. She wants to shame me for supposedly appealing to men, while her entire brand is built around being a woman who reassures misogynistic men that their contempt for other women is justified. At least I'm honest about what I sell. She is selling male validation back to men while pretending it's her personality. Imagine organizing a hate raid to defend someone who casually uses slurs, then convincing yourself that you have reclaimed the moral high ground because the woman who criticized him shows her breast online. So she is implying that I guess Nani and myself were conducting hate raids. I know you guys were like, wait, I missed the memo. When did that hate raid happen? It never happens. In fact, I always say, don't go to posts like this. You're here for entertainment. Look at these posts. Don't give them extra attention by going to their page. I can't control what you do, but that's just my suggestion. And honestly, given the fact that her posts have zero traction, nobody's going there in the first place, but apparently we're conducting organized hate raids on this perpetual victim. But they continue on saying,
see how through all of this, no proof was provided? See how through all of this, no proof was provided?
saying schmore is a gendered insult designed to reduce a woman to her sexuality so nobody has to engage with what she actually said. Men consume adult content, follow half.
So do women, by the way. So do women, by the way. There was a study conducted that said about half of all misogynistic comments were made by women, so there's that.
Naked women brag about sex.
Women do that too.
And then talk about women's bodies constantly.
Women do that too, and also male bodies, so there's that. I don't see how that's like... That's not male specific. Women watch porn. Women read it, in fact. So what is the difference here?
The outrage suddenly appears when a woman controls her own sexuality, profits from it, and still has the confidence to speak. Oh, everyone's mad because she.
Oh yeah, everyone's mad because she's such a strong, independent woman. The whore part wasn't even the issue. That wasn't the issue. It was your virtue signaling. It was sticking your nose into business that was not yours. It was attacking someone unprompted outside of the initial conversation. That is what got you. There's countless of women that do the same shit, the same garbage that you do online. So don't act like you're like, oh, it's because they hate women. It's like, no.
She's a very independent, strong, outspoken woman, of course. And she continues on saying they are trying to place consensual adult content on the same moral level as racism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, dead naming, and coordinated harassment, because that is the only way they can avoid admitting.
Well, arguably, I'd actually say that corn is much worse than any of these currently, as like how it affects society.
How vile their own behavior is. Now, of course, she can't point out any examples of the stuff she's listing off here, but I guess this whole question is up to you, whether what she's doing is equal, worse, or better than the things she's accusing, I guess, all of her detractors of doing, but she continues.
Worse, because what she does actually happens. What she says others do actually does not happen.
Continues on saying, I show my body to consenting adults. They use people's race, sexuality, gender identity, and disabilities as targets for humiliation. Kind of like how you're humiliating me for being a Christian and like going after my followers for supposedly being the same, which has nothing to do with any of the arguments that are coming up in these videos. So, bit hypocritical, but anyways, they continue on. And somehow nearly every account looks exactly the same. Christian in the bio, an American flag beside the name, Donald Trump plastered across the profile, and a timeline full of slurs, cruelty, and obsessive harassment. The irony writes itself. So of course they say, don't use people's races, identities, or anything like that for a humiliation target, and then they immediately point out people's identities and tries to mock it. Amazing. And somehow it's ironic. I don't really understand how it's ironic, but anyways. They continue on saying they seem to believe that putting a cross in their bio automatically cleanses whatever hatred comes underneath it. Their faith is reduced to branding, their patriotism to decoration, and their actual behavior contradicts every moral virtue they claim to represent. Seems like projection. I don't know where this is coming from. But then they say, I spend my time and money helping animals, supporting causes I care about, and trying to contribute something positive to the world. These people spend theirs defending bigotry, harassing strangers, and typing schmore repeatedly as though the 800th person to say it has finally constructed an argument. Guys, listen. You're all just mindless bigots doing nothing for the world. Have you considered that Nitha is out there helping animals? I'm sorry. This.
What the fuck? No. Okay, but have you proof of that? Since you're out here, like, accusing others with no proof, have you proof for that now? That's the thing. Like, okay. Like, okay. Spoiler alert, I will be teaching children in the future. Right? I'm probably going to be more helpful to society than this thing.
This is the levels of desperation and the need for validation is off the charts. I've never seen anything like this before, but they continue on saying these people follow each other because they need the reassurance. They need a crowd around them repeating the same hateful opinions so they never have to sit alone with what those opinions say about them. The group makes hate feel normal, removes any sense of accountability, and gives them permission to keep behaving the exact same.
All that yapping for 4,000 views, 27 likes, and 14 quotes. All that! All of this crashing out for that, by the way. All this, like, losing her mind. For this, by the way. For these and for this. Buddy, you could invest the little money you have into not a blue check mark and actually do something else. Jesus.
Same way. As long as there's enough people liking the post, laughing at the slur, or joining the harassment, they can convince themselves they are part of a movement.
They tried to silence me. You are not even that loud. Nobody saw it.
Instead of a collection of deeply insecure people enabling one another, the mob is what makes them feel safe. They tried to silence me and only grew more furious that they couldn't. I will always stand up for what's right. Always. Well, first of all, again, they keep accusing people like me of trying to silence them. I do not want to silence you. Like, listen, if there's one takeaway you can get from this, Nitha, I do not want to silence you. I want you to keep tweeting. In fact, I'm incredibly disappointed you didn't crash out even harder. In fact, I am hoping you continue. This series is a lot of fun, so I am in no way trying to silence you. In fact, it is your
free content. This is free content for us to react and for Ref to make videos about it. Absolutely perfect. Right?
Your right to make these ridiculous and goofy posts, and I enjoy them. Just not the way you expect, or the way you intended. But all of this up here about a lack of accountability, and also that these people are insecure, is just pure and utter projection, and also rough. 27.
This crash out just proves that she's the one that's arguably insecure, right? No normal human being would crash out this hard over a little interaction on. See, the thing is, like, nobody would make a fool of you if you didn't make a fool of yourself. That's the whole thing, right? You could have just not done this in the first place, or you could have just taken the L on Twitter and moved on with your life, right?
Likes. Like, is this your big moment? 27 likes on Twitter? You want to shame people for numbers? You're writing this entire novel for 27 likes while locking the replies, and of course the quotes are saying this: ain't nobody got time to read all that BS, with this Duke Nukem meme. And then you can see Trigger Point saying, should have made this a voice message. Ain't nobody reading all that. That's the number one thing that disappointed me about this response. No voice memo. I asked you in your follow-up crash out to give me another voice memo. You didn't do that. I'm disappointed, but the light novels were great, so that's what we're rolling with today. And then this user says, Nani hit you real good, huh? Oh, and by the way, why you lying? And then Nitha responded to that post saying, nah, she got rocked, referring to Donnie. Reposted my comment to try to get her thousands of hate cult members that follow her for being a bigot to dogpile on me and do her dirty work for her. The real winner is the person with 10 times her viewership. Oh my gosh, she is flexing the viewership again. Multiple days of flexing viewership while calling other people insecure is amazing. But she continues on saying she has thousands of hateful cult members that follow her on here, but a whopping 70 people tune in to watch her. That's a big L. You thought you ate, though. Again, the TikTokification of their vocabulary is just painful, but it makes a lot of sense given the way they're behaving. But again, view shaming. You know what? Again, for someone who just started VTubing about a year ago, 70 viewers is an amazing accomplishment without having to dip into a...
Without having to sell her soul. You mean like actually being a VTuber, you mean? Shocker, I know. Because a lot of these chicks aren't. They just use the VTubing part to get people on their adult stuff, and that's about it.
Adult content, which is something worth mentioning in this context, but they're not done. So this user clarifies that there is no hate raid, and Nitha, the woke person, responds by saying, I think you're just reposting this so that you can blank revs blank and end up in another one of his deranged hate cult YouTube videos. Well, they did end up in the video, and so did you. And again, not very woke of you. This seems a bit homophobic and also weird. Why are you making completely out of left field sexual comments about me and my viewers? Never did the same for you.
Because out of arguments. Out of arguments. That is all. Broski is out of the arguments.
But why are you doing it to me? I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. It's weird and also very ironic coming from a so...
Yeah, true. It's like, it's the, you know, the meme of like, I'm gonna respond with something sexual because sex is the only currency that I understand, value that I understand. See, if your core making is that much that lost, it's over.
Called progressive person, but they weren't done. They double replied, ladies and gentlemen, adding on another light novel, saying they're a part of a hate group and it's all orchestrated, and I ain't reading all that. Like, I'm sorry. Nobody's got time for this probably chat G.
It's just, it's either chat GPT or I don't know. Nobody got time. Like, if you have that much time in your life to post these long ass posts, I don't know, man. Remember Tech Deck? It's a mini skateboard for your fingers. Yeah, I remember that. I don't know what that has to do with the video, but sure.
GPT generated rant here, this light novel. Nobody's got time for that. It's absolutely exhausting. But in response to getting dunked on in their quotes, because the quotes were the only place people could reply because they locked the replies, Nitha makes a follow-up post saying, me waking up, seeing all the reposts and comments from the triggered hate cult, absolutely enraging over my last post, stalking my profile all night, furious they couldn't silence me still while I slept peacefully. Gee, for people that supposedly hate cancel culture, you sure are trying. Failing, but you're trying. A bunch of racist, homophobic, ableist, misogynistic, can't...
I wouldn't call it cancel culture. I would call it consequence culture, because that's arguably what happened here, right? The consequences of your own actions, if you will.
Cancel someone else. Who do you think is going to listen to you? I love how angry it makes you when I remove your ability to reply to my posts. I love knowing that a bunch of you are going to come here and see this post and get pissed all over again because you can't stop obsessing over me. Here this person goes again about cancel culture and people trying to silence them. Nobody is doing that. Literally nobody's doing that. In fact, the only person silencing you is you, because you're limiting the replies on all of your posts. So if there's any sort of like stranglehold on free speech here, it's you. You're self-censoring by preventing people from replying directly in the comments, and now they have to quote. Like, nobody's mad about this. It just shows that you're insecure about your points, and it just serves as another free dunk. And of course, you can see Nani has just continued, right? She's been collecting lots of W's, a lot of people discovering how based she is. And let's see her latest post. Just want to say thank you to everyone that has supported me the last few days. Maybe you guys aren't so regarded after all. Now, what I'm going to do here is...
The fact that you can consider that a compliment is kind of funny. Maybe you guys aren't so retarded.
Provide a link to her account, because if someone's going to view shame an individual like this who I think is doing some great stuff with their content, we will...
I'll follow her for a while at this point, right? I've been around for a little bit, right?
We'll promote them, so I'll put a link to their Twitter, and then from there you can find all the other various links. And while I'm self-promoting in the pinned comment, of course, I'm going to promote myself. If you don't know already, I have my new birthday merch drop with Ooh Market live right now, and I'm happy to say the Acid Wash t-shirt is fully funded, ladies and gentlemen. It only took a few days. We had a full month, but of course, my community crushes it as always. But there's other items on here, including this hoodie. As you can see, people really enjoy this, and here's the front and back. Really great stuff. Yes, I'm self-glazing my merch, but who wouldn't when it looks like this? And also, here's the hat, self-explanatory, and also on top of that, a beautiful mouse pad for everyone to enjoy. Mouse pads always seem to be the biggest hit with my community, and I understand why. And of course, if you know my community name, the Revlings, that's more of a stream thing. You should tune into my streams if you don't already. The Revlings are featured right here, which is another nice little touch. And on top of that, we have some jet tags if you so desire to get those as well. Here's the design. And on top of that, last but not least, we also have a standee. And of course, with Uwe Market, they always have standees, which is always a nice addition. But yeah, that is the collection. It is a limited time collection, so don't miss out. Again, this will be in the pinned comment of this video. Check it out. I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support on this campaign. It really means a lot and also ensures future campaigns as well. But that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider liking the video.
There, let him have his little, what do you say? His little, ad here, so there's that. Yeah, and with that, the Nithedra, Chronicles come to an end. Because there hasn't been another video, but you never know, right? A lot of these people, usually if they're in one controversy, they're later in another one because, what I've noticed with 18 plus creators, if you can call them that, right? Fifi recently was like, oh, I'm such a nice and good person, right? And people called her out for it because, you know, that's just not the case for a lot of these people, right? So, you know, it wouldn't be the first time and the last time somebody like that gets into drama. So we'll see. Maybe in the future we'll get another part 4, the sequel trilogy. Who knows? It's just interesting to see people crash out like that. It's really enjoyable. I think more VTubers when they crash out should leave voice memos. That's all I have to say. Alrighty. Still have some time left. We could... Let me click on something. Let me click on this. The BMA studio, we can do that tomorrow as well. That's fine. Let me nuke this, because we no longer need this in our list. We can also remove this from our list. There's that. And then, we could put the Pal World video. That's fun. And then we'll see how much time is still left. We could do that. Right, that's a short 4-minute one. That's chill. Let me drink some water. How many videos do I actually have for the entire week? Let me see. Right, so I still have... right up. Let me see. Damn it, I fell asleep and missed my video. Well, luckily it will get uploaded, right? So there's that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, how much do I have in general up still? Right. I need to look at the videos that I have pre-planned as well already. So I actually know what's going on. Yeah, sometimes just lose the plot for videos. I have 3 more pre-planned. Right? I will get enough throughout the week, so it should be fine. I liked them crashing out over that. So that was fun. Anyway, let's look at this. Let's look at this quick Pal World one. And I suppose that'll be that.
Absolutely
So yeah, let's look at that. Anyway. Legendary drops and base Powell Def call out the games industry by Hero. We're going in. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. So here's the funny thing. I've seen Pokemon fans, right, going ham on Pal World and crying and bitching. We have literally Pal World derangement syndrome. It's really funny. Anyway, we'll see. I think I've watched the video about Legendary drops. A video on it was another game, a game that does really, really well, that actually listened to its community and all that stuff. I forgot what video that was. Shit. But yeah, we did watch a video about him.
absolutely based crossover here. We got legendary drops and Bucky from Pow World, and they're mocking the gaming journalists, calling out the corpos. We got legendary drops talking about the critic scores over on Metacritic, writing
13 reviews for Pow World after a month. 57 for Beast of Reincarnation after 2 days. 51 for Halo. Really shows where the loyalty lies. I get that it's a long game, but y'all are washed. Indeed, though, right? It's also interesting, right? First of all, apparently Halo isn't doing all that well, dropping players massively. There's also an issue with mostly also the 3 prequel missions, if you want to call them that. The pre-story missions, right? That were not good, by the way. Which is arguably the only new thing that they have really added. But apparently that was not good. The designs were not good. The missions were not good. The characters in those missions were not good. In general, it's really interesting to see, but yeah, for Halo, it kind of makes sense, right? Let's be honest. Beast of Reincarnation actually surprises me. Apparently, it's not a terrible game, but it's not a good game either. It's like a decent game, and that's it. I think for Beast Reincarnation, it kind of just makes sense because it's a Game Freak title, right? So I'm not surprised particularly.
13 reviews for Pow World after a month, 57 for Beast of Reincarnation after 2 days, 51 for Halo. Really shows where their loyalty lies. I get that it's a long game, but y'all are washed. Y'all are washed. For those that don't know where the critic score on Metacritic comes from, it's basically like a not amalgamation, but you could say that. It's like an aggregation of what they call their like curated sources, which includes their this is so funny, quote unquote, like reputable outlets and reputable journalists, because gaming journalists and reputable,
they're not. They're just not. That's a reality. I think that if you wanted to, my hot take is that if you genuinely want to see a review of a game, right, watch a YouTuber. Watch a YouTuber. Straight up. Of course, not all of them are built equal. I could definitely imagine some of those being obviously paid. But watch a YouTuber. Not only are they probably more trustable, they also just do a straight up better job. Right? Because the thing is, like, a lot of these people actually do not play, like, these game journalists do not play the game. I mean, a lot of video games nowadays have, like, such an easy mode that people call it the game journalist mode. Whatever, bro.
it's definitely not an oxymoron. And that's when head of publishing and communications for Pow World, Bucky, responds. And he says to Legendary Drops, I mean, to be fair, we didn't send out press keys in advance, and for sure the other games did. We weren't really thinking about critic reception at all, and we wanted the content of 1.0 to remain a secret and unspoiled right up to the release. So we kept it all pretty close to our chest. If we had gone the more traditional route and prioritized critic reception, which is a very valid to market a game in some cases, then we probably would have sent out press keys a month or so in advance. Power World 1.0 was very much for the fans, not for the industry based. Just different cases.
Which is how it should be. Video games for the fans. Halo for Halo fans. So far and so on. You get the idea. That is what it should be. Now, is that here the case for these other games? Probably not. Very much, though, for Palworld, right? I mean, the Palworld death literally is also, like, enjoyed the NSFW side a little bit as well, right? Right? So there's that, right? These people they care. Which is interesting, right? You don't get to see that all that often in gaming anymore, right? Where, like, these people care. Right? These devs care, at least. Which you can't say for many other devs, in my opinion.
It's also like a game that requires a fairly significant time investment, so I can't fault media for not wanting to put the time in post-release. No harm. I was being a little bit too nice there, though. Maybe we'll try play the press/media game.
You can say that, but like, I think you can have a decent opinion after playing like half of the game at least, right? Right. I don't, right? Especially like if there's no like insane end game features, right? Unless there's like features coming for the post game, then like I guess sure, certainly. But I think for the most part, yeah, I guess for reviews you have to be kind of fast, but then again, well, fair, these are game journalists. They wouldn't put that much effort into anything. I mean, anybody remember the infamous Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition review? Duncan? Anyway.
Game a bit more in the future with Pal Farm or something. Don't. Why would you do that? It's honestly a side of the industry we aren't too experienced in. I just love the opening to this too, though. Like my favorite parts here is when he's like, yeah, we didn't even send press keys out to them. That's funny. And then saying, you know, again, Power World 1.0 is for the fans, not for the industry. Like I said, that's based. But hopefully he doesn't start, or hopefully they don't start, you know, like trying to get more involved with the gaming journalists out there. That would be a bad move. Legendary drops comments as well saying, well, obviously by the outcome, you guys chose the right crowd to prioritize. Exactly. Great.
You mean the people that actually will spend money? Those people? The right people to prioritize? Indeed. Indeed they did. And obviously it seems to have a very positive effect, right? Palworld is very successful, right? Made lots and lots of money. Now, if another franchise, if another company would prioritize its players, Arc, Snail Games, you know, I wouldn't have so much pain in my heart. Anyway, the thing is, like, I would love to stream Palworld. I just have not the means to stream it, right? Otherwise, I would probably put, like, hundreds upon hundreds of hours into it. Sadly, again, I do not have that option. I hope that in the future I get that option. But I did play it before release. Arguably, I did play it via cloud gaming, because that was the only option, but there's that.
Great work all around. Not many games can get 300 hours out of me. And Bucky says, much appreciated, with a handshake. Let's check out these two responses. And then I want to go back to Metacritic. I saw some hilarious reviews I just want to laugh at the end real quick, but check these out first. Thank God we have developers like you guys who seemingly don't care about the press. I know you weren't thrashing them or trashing them, but I will. Game journos are a cancer, and how they do not feel about your game is irrelevant, as Palworld proves. The sooner we can let that industry die, the better. Then we got this one. It says, quote, maybe we'll try and play the press/media game a bit more in the future with Pal Farm or something. You know, that part of the tweet that we read from Bucky. This guy saying, please don't. These people will only play ball with you if they're able to insert themselves within your studio and destroy you from the inside with their vile subversions. They are a cult.
True. They would probably try. Yeah, they would probably. I mean, they do it with any other, right? Company. Why would they not? Why would they hesitate here, right? I mean, they've successfully done it. Right? They've successfully done it with Square as well, right? So like I'd be incredibly careful when it comes to that.
And they do not want you to succeed. The further you distance yourselves from them, the better your product will remain, and the more us fans will praise you for it. Not colluding with these subversives is the advertising. It shows to the gamers you're working for them, not cog in the struggle session machine. And that takes us back.
Stolen design, stolen ideas, everything's buggy, unoriginal husk, very disappointing. You know what's funny though? Are they going to, right? It's always funny, right? Are they going to go after Pokemon? Right? Are they going after Pokemon? Would this person go after, right? This person has Eevee in their name, right? Would they go after Pokemon? Because writing creatures came, right? World of Warcraft had that already. So that doesn't work. Crafting systems already in every other game. Capturing creatures, arguably was not even Pokemon was not the first one to do it. So there's that. There's clear similarities to other designs. If we're talking about ideas, it's also very interesting because would Nexomon fall into that category? Koromon, disc creatures, Lumentail, right? All those other monster tamers with those fall into that category. It's like Pokemon fans only play one thing, and that's Pokemon. They don't play anything else in the genre. Would this person go like, oh, it stole from Ark Survival Evolved? Because technically, right, Pokemon is like, right, Palworld is a lot more closer to Ark Survival Evolved than Pokemon. The only similarity is that the only similarities are use a ball to catch them. You they're creature. It's creature. It's a monster taming game. That's it. Those are the only two similarities. Pokemon has never had and never will have base building. Never had the utility of their creatures that much, right? Howl's creatures have a lot more utility because they're not just for fighting. It fucking has mutations, as the breeding system is more complicated, right? Again, much more similar to Ark. It feels like they took a lot more inspiration from Ark than they did from Pokemon. I'm just talking my mouth, fuzzy, but you get the idea, right? It has a lot more similarities to Ark, and I play Ark a lot, and I can tell, yeah, the similarities are there, right? In Ark, you also beat the shit out of the creatures, so you can Stockholm it. I don't know.
Over to Metacritic and the 2 reviews that I mentioned, that
cruelty of every imaginable kind to animals with little to no meaningful consequence for it. Yeah, that's the fun. That's the fun of it. You can either treat your creatures well, or you can treat your creatures horrible. Too grind heavy, but it's a survival game. Again, I can tell this person only plays Pokemon. Bored after 7 to 8 hours and disgusted by what the game expects you to do to be okay with. Yeah, this person definitely only plays Pokemon and nothing else. It's like interesting, right? By the way, these are pixels. They're not real. But this person is disgusted by it. Reality and fiction are hard to differentiate, I suppose, right? By the way, you don't have to treat your creatures horrible, right? You don't have to. Anyway.
I thought were pretty hilarious. These are actually 2 user reviews. First one giving Palworld a 0, saying, stolen designs, stolen ideas, and everything is buggy, unoriginal husk. Then they're all cussing and saying, very disappointing. And then this guy gives Palworld a 1, and this guy's definitely not Yami Yugi. He says, this is so funny, bro. Cruelty of every imaginable kind of animal. Wait, cruelty of every imaginable kind to animals with no little to no meaningful consequence.
Like funny, right? If this person would probably be offended by my sheer existence. The amount of baby creatures I've murdered in Ark to feed to my other creatures to level up is ridiculous, right? The amount of raptors, thousands of raptors that I had sacrificed. The amount of baby wyverns that I had sacrificed, Rex babies, any babies, right? The amount of wyvern babies I will sacrifice again because of scorched earth. This person would hate me.
Consequences for it. Too grind heavy halfway through the game, bored after 7 to 8 hours, and disgusted by what the game expects you to be okay with participating in. Was this made by PETA or something? Like, what are you even talking about? Animals? There's not even animals in the game. They're pals, and like, you know, that's part of the joke. It is a little messed up. Some of it's actually really messed up. I'm not gonna lie. Like the whole like, you know, butcher knife thing and all that. But I mean, it's a silly game. These are not real. Like, what are you talking about? By the way, yeah, I noticed that I actually like
in Ark. You can even if you got the for Survival Ascended, the Bob's Tales DLC, you can literally throw your creatures into a bio grinder, and you get creature food for it. Huh.
You know, misspoke reading this a little bit a couple times. My bad. I'm not going to re-record it, though. That would just take away the humor. I'm going to, like, have to react to it again. No, we're not going to do that. So I'll leave it there.
Anyway, yeah, so to summarize, Powell's doing well. Powell's doing great, and I hope it will continue to do great. Just because we need to keep these people angry, right? We need also more devs that just make games for gamers and not for game journers. So there is that, right? And obviously I hope that maybe, you know, Pokemon starts to realize the potential. They probably won't, which is fair, which is fine. It probably won't happen. Again, these games are technically not all that close. They share barely any similarities, actually, to be fair. So yeah. Anyway, fantastic. Alright. That was the last video for the day. Yay. So yeah, real quick. Let me swap over to my other screen. Yoink. Hello. Hi. Now we're over here. And yeah. I'll end here. Right? So yeah. Have a good day. Or night. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, another reaction stream. Things are as usual and as normal as they could be, right? Things are just a-okay. Just the usual stuff. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Take care. And, by the way, I'm working on a lot of stuff coming up. So get ready, right? You're gonna see a lot of stuff. Also on other channels. I'm preparing something specific for ARC as well, but we'll see. So yeah. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.